Actually, Mosh isn't here. That's the one he likes. Let's do another one. We got Michelle here. Let's go West Coast with it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
All right. Oh, Swag Jeff is in the chat room.
Well, yeah, he is.
Oh, there's Ron the Materators in there.
Hey.
What's up, Ron?
Pirate 1975 killed Jadis. What's up, fellas?
Where's that coming through at? Is that you might have to turn your volume down on your phone.
How do you do that? On my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Just the volume down, but
All the way. Okay.
Dang, Jeff. Way to insult our guest from the very the early
I'm just telling her how to do it. It's all good.
Sheesh, man. Who else we got in there, Swag Jeff?
Oh my gosh, High Five Freddy, Tyrone Graves, Lee B, Pirate 1975, Tider Raider, Darth Vader Raider.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody into the fan cave. We'll give it just a couple minutes and then we'll get started here for
Kill Jadis said that your TikTok was fire.
Oh, thanks, man.
It was.
That's what the kids say, is that it's fire?
That's what Kill Jadis said.
All right. He must be one of the kids.
I don't know. I don't know if he's a kid or not, but you know.
Did I get an emoji or was it just the word fire?
It just said fire, so he's not a kid.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
No, Schmucky the Raider Bear's in there.
Oh, no, he's in. Well, I'll save that. No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Atticus be rockin'. Al V. B.
Oh my
Al.
gosh, there we go. All right.
Yeah, Ms. Molly.
Loaded up in there. All right, let's go ahead and then get started for this episode number 212.
Just press the damn button.
I will, Jeff.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, select the top, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger, and welcome to episode number 212 of Raiders Fan Radio. What is up, Raider Nation? I am Murph. I'm your host of here at the Murph's Fan Cave for episode number 212 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight live on the YouTubes. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight, and so thankful to welcome in two guests tonight that will adorn the two southern annexes of the Murph's Fan Cave desk as we jump into tons of Raider topics. We're going to talk a ton about the Raiders in the Hall of Fame. We're going to talk a little bit about the Raiders, of course, at training camp. We're going to give out some respect. We got lots and lots of fun stuff, and we have some badass voicemails and emails tonight to get to from members of Raider Nation and from the listeners of Raiders Fan Radio. And it's going to be a great segment in what we call the Sea of Fans mailbag. But before we get to all that, let me go ahead and start by introducing one of my two co-hosts for the night. First off, welcome to the man that adorns the Southern Annex or the Western Annex, because the Western Annex co-host is not here. So let me welcome in the Southern Annex co-host. We call him Swag Jeff. What's up, Swag? What's up, bro?
Oh man, it's so good to be here. I missed last week, and like I felt like a little part of my life was missing.
Well, yeah, it was.
Yeah, because just like everyone else that was talking about in the chat, I needed my RFR fix, and I didn't get it.
You didn't get your RFR.
I didn't get my
you
RFR
were
fix.
You were in the chat for like 8 minutes.
For about 37 seconds.
Yeah.
And then and then that was it. So yeah. And there's tons of people in the chat. Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi.
Paul?
He's in the chat. He's in the chat. We don't
Hello,
hardly
Paul.
ever see him
Hello,
in there.
Paul.
Yeah. We get it.
Hey, jackass, maybe somebody doesn't. Maybe
Well,
they've never...
then you know what? Then press the button.
Paul.
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 Paul. Paul.
This is my favorite right here.
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Nice.
Damn
nice.
right you are. Thank you, Paul.
Absolutely, he
Appreciate you
is.
being in the
Thanks
chat.
for being here.
Who else in the chat,
Yeah,
Swaggo?
Atticus be rocking. High Five Freddy, Ms. Molly, Damage Inc. Raider Nation, Scotland, Running Bear, Ron the
what's up,
Mayor
Tim?
Raider, Kill Jadis is in there, Piper 1975, Darth Vader Raider, Tyrone Graves, and of course, my best friend.
Well, yeah, why isn't she in the chat room tonight, Swag
Well,
Jeff?
she might be in the chat a little bit, but not nearly as much as what she normally is because she's sitting to my right.
Hey!
It's Michelle.
What's up, Michelle Swag?
Hey. That's a great intro. I love that.
I know, right?
It's so amazing to have you here in the fan cave for Raiders Fan Radio.
Happy to be here.
Oh, man, it's great to have
What's
you.
up, chat?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah, so welcome, Michelle. So, Michelle, you've been a long-time listener of our show and become friends outside this whole Raiders Fan Radio thing. We've got a chance to get to know you and your family. And so thank you for being here. You're an amazing artist.
Thanks
you
for
do
having me.
incredible Raiders art, including
Oh my
this
gosh.
fantastic pirate ship
Yes.
that's in front of you here. But so tell a little bit, Raider Nation, kind of like, I was trying to think, Jeff. I'm like, when did we meet Michelle and realize that she was here in our little town? I was trying to draw that. Do you remember, Michelle?
I feel like the first time we met was at the draft.
Was
we
at
were
the
just
draft.
walking.
That's
and
right. It was at the draft.
I knew who y'all were, but I don't know why I knew who you were.
Okay.
I mean, obviously,
We
from
still
this.
don't know why people know who we are, but don't.
It was from this, but I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, that's the first place we met, and then we came to that was at the German beer house.
Yeah,
thing.
the draft part. The live draft on
the same weekend.
That was from this. So there's football here behind me. That was what, and you and your family signed that.
Oh.
When we had like 8 people show up for that.
Dude,
thing.
how
Yeah.
many beers did I have? I don't remember signing to football.
Yeah, isn't that so? Let's see. So there's I guess I should switch to my camera here. Yeah, so there you go. So there's Devin. That's your son Devin, and then there's Michelle. But that was our draft party.
Nice.
Look at that on the 27th of April back in 2019. And so I guess that's the first time we met you
That's
in
it.
person.
Yep.
And you were like, you're like, I live here in Middle Tennessee, and we're like, we do too. And they're like, yeah, I'm originally from California. I'm like, we are too.
Well, yeah.
Like literally everything changed when I met you guys. Like, because I was like on my little island of Raider fandom, and you guys helped me like really grow it.
Nice.
Oh, awesome, man.
Nice.
Well,
We
thank
love
you so
that.
much. So tell us a little bit about your Raider fandom. Where did it come from?
Okay, so my aunt was she used to help the tailgate when they were the Los Angeles Raiders. That's kind of when I started.
And you're from LA,
I was
right?
born in San Jose, but we lived in Garden Grove, Southern California.
Okay.
Like it. But so I started. My dad was just a California football fan. So like he loved Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, and he loved the Raiders and Howie Long, and he just loved all of that. But he loved every California team, the Dodgers, the Angels. He just loved it all. UCLA, USC. But as I started to get a little bit older, like there was just something about the Raiders that I was just like, man, they're fucking like, oh, sorry. They're like so cool. Sorry.
Love it.
But how can you
Let's go.
how can you not say that though when you're talking about the Raiders?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like,
Right.
But anyway, so that just kind of where it started, and then it just became this kind of. I mean, Lamont calls me a fanatic. Like I am a ridiculously fanatical Raiders fan. Like when we lose, nobody talks. I have to sit on the sofa and I'm like fighting back tears or I'm
So you've been
angry
crying
as
a
hell.
lot
I've
over
been
the past 20
Dude,
years.
like crying a lot. Like it's so sad. But anyway, so yeah, and it just grew from there. I mean, I got a Raiders tattoo. Like I'm just till I'm dead, fucking Raiders fan, regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. That's awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, I remember it was so cool. Not long ago, I was going through a drive-through around the corner, and I look up, and there's this big, giant white SUV, and it's got a Raider shield as big as that back window was on that SUV. Is this Raider shield, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then I see it's Michelle, and she goes, hey, Murph.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you doing?
Absolutely.
I saw your face in the rearview mirror, and you were like, or the little side mirror, and you were just like the wonderment on your face. And I leaned down, and I was like, hey, Murph. You're like,
nice.
Of course.
Nice.
Michelle. But absolutely. But anyway, so it's great. Obviously, thank you so much for being here. Michelle, as I mentioned, has become a great friend of ours on and off the air. She and Jeff are freaking best friends. You're as tight as it gets.
Absolutely. Well, so Paul in the chat is talking about the potty mouth.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
no, it's perfect because she said Paul says that all Michelles are potty mouths because the other F-bomb that was dropped in here was from Raiderette Michelle.
Yes. Well, and it's funny. So when I was thinking about this too, I'm like, okay, we've had two now ladies join us here in the fan cave.
Yeah.
Both have been named Michelle. So, and we also get frequented by a multitude of Jeffs. I'm like, Mosh and I need to change our name or something. I'm like, because what the heck? If you're not Michelle or Jeff, apparently you can't be part of the show.
Exactly.
Take a hike.
But
right.
There you go. But anyways, but thank you again for being here. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight, and I look forward to hearing from Michelle on a multitude of topics, and of course celebrating her artwork and everything else that you've done to contribute to Raiders Fan Radio, and in turn the One Nation Foundation. Like, you've been such a huge part of our fundraising efforts.
Oh my
and thank
gosh,
you.
yes.
So very, very much. All right. So here at the top of the show, so this is episode number 212 of Raiders Fan Radio. We turn it over to our to my best friend, Swag Jeff.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? I'm going to cut you off there because
Why you got to cut me off?
Well, will you?
You're staring at that empty chair,
I've been
aren't
staring
you?
at this empty chair. Will you
can't
turn it to
stand
that
it?
camera?
Can you not stand it?
Will you?
Okay. All right, so there's Mosh. So Mosh isn't here. Mosh is a busy guy.
Yeah, well, you know what?
He's retired. He's busy.
Okay,
man.
so what the hell else is he doing?
Well,
he's retired. What's he doing then?
Well, you know what I mean. He's got some projects.
Nah, he ain't got no damn projects.
Hey, listen,
No.
we don't
Okay,
comment on the man's projects. Okay,
It's fine, but you know what? This is what
You'll
this is my next project.
You end up taking a
this
nap
is my
if you
next
comment
project.
on his project.
Get
out of
Jeff,
here.
what are you doing? Dude.
This is what I'm doing, man.
Dude.
You know, hey, Uncle Mosh, thanks for joining us for the last 2 weeks, and so now it's
Well, what are you doing, Jeff?
well, hey, if he's not going to be here, then someone's got to sit in this chair.
Well, okay. I mean,
You know?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. That's fine if you want to. I'm not going to change the nameplate because I don't want to get
Michelle,
in trouble.
if you want to
'Cause
scoot
he
over to
will
my
see
desk,
this at some point.
to my desk, you absolutely can do that.
No, I'm not.
Are you
moving
sure?
to anybody's seat. Nope.
Are you sure?
Nope, not me. Not the one.
The chat's not pulled up over here because nothing's pulled up because the man ain't here. But
Oh my gosh!
But
taking shots over there.
Yeah.
Jeff.
So I don't know if the Mangus boys are in there cussing me or not. But really, it's fine.
Swag's
We're gonna do our
living on the
thing.
edge.
I love it. Ron says it's a hostile swag over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So,
right,
so what were you talking to me about? The episode number, right?
I don't know. I'm a little shook right now.
It's fine.
I'm
Don't worry
worried
about
for
it.
you.
It's 6. What time is it? 6:16 Central.
Look at you. Broke his microphone. His little box thing on the bottom.
Can we get a Swag Jeff sticker to put right here?
Oh my!
You know he's going to
goodness.
watch this at some point.
No, he ain't gonna watch this.
Okay. All right.
No. No, because he's not on the episode, so he doesn't
Okay.
watch.
All right. Whatever. I'm just
so
going to sit back. Go ahead.
every episode, Swag Jeff takes a significant moment in
Yeah, you
Raider
do.
history and relates it back to the episode number. And I got a couple for you today. Because it's episode number 212. Not the great, and every moment in Raider Nation is not always the best. It's not always the best.
No,
so
not always.
Yeah. So since Gruden's triumphant return.
Yes. The
team
Well,
is-
not yet. We're working towards
We're
triumph.
working towards that.
It's an upward,
yeah.
nice, steady upward climb to
The
triumph.
team has averaged 21.2 points a game.
Oh.
Yeah, not the best. Not the best. And that's
I need the sad trombone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But so now what we'll do
Okay. Oh, okay.
We'll do that because we're going to highlight a potential breakout star. For the
Okay,
Raiders.
let's do that.
Let's do that because
The Menges brothers are killing you in the chat, by the way.
I don't have it pulled up. It doesn't matter. So highlighting a potential breakout star for the Raiders this year, we're going to be talking about number 89, Bryan Edwards.
Let's go.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So Bryan Edwards, he's a receiver with his skill set that he has. This is a guy that everyone says that Derek Carr is needed in his career. You know, because he shined in his career when he was throwing the ball to number 15, Crabtree.
He loves guys
He
that
loves guys that will-
50-50 ball, big,
Amen.
strong hands,
Absolutely.
Andre Holmes, Jared Cook, Jaron Waller.
Yes,
That's what he loves.
That's what he loves. And so this is the guy that I think's going to give that to him this year. You know, he had some stuff. He didn't play a whole lot last year, stuff like that. But
He's hurt. He's hurt. He's young.
So, you
Second
know,
year guys break out.
Second year guy. It's a breakout year. You know, I expect a lot from number 89 weighs in at 212 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, then.
You know what? Nothing is happening in Raider Nation.
Congratulations, Bryan Edwards, on your weight.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's what Uncle Mosh wore, weighed in elementary school, I think. So, yeah.
Up until the fourth grade.
Yeah, absolutely. So
see, now you're dragging. Now hold on, stop it. Now you're dragging me into this shit. See, I got to stop it because he'll watch it. If he wants to beat the crap out of you, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna. So don't drag me into that mess.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So speaking of Uncle Mosh, so what's the next segment right here? Well, we got contact info.
What are you going to start doing his job over there now too?
I'm pulling double duty.
Have you gone off the freaking rails? 212 pounds in the fourth grade?
Was it the third? Was it the third?
I ought to just kick your ass the third time.
Yeah, right.
I will just.
Wow. Thanks for gracing us with your presence, Mosh.
Michelle.
I got this. I got this.
What?
I got
What,
this.
Michelle? What? What? Oh.
Yes. 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 Again. With the pie tin. Yes. Okay, that's enough. Okay, Michelle. Oh. Yeah, what? Okay, here we go. Okay. Back to your chair. I guess you're the guest. Oh, was that funny? Was that really funny? Did you think that's funny?
Oh my gosh!
Don't ever get in my chair.
Mosh, hold on. I got donuts.
Oh, there we go. Look at there you go. Give him some. Give Uncle Sasquatch some donuts over there. I'll kill him. Okay. All right. Come on. Sit down. Sit down in your chair, Mosh. There you go. Welcome. Hi, Uncle Mosh.
I'm sorry. I had to protect Mosh's seat. I felt like it was the right thing to do. I didn't want the Mangus brothers on me too.
Dang, Michelle, you went off there. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, Jeff, are you okay?
Who cares?
Chris, I'm sorry. If you're watching, I'm sorry.
She is so jealous of you right now that you got to do that. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh. All right, Uncle Mosh, welcome to 212 Raiders Fan Radio. Let's get to some contact information.
I can't help it. I'm dying over here. She beat the
Get
crap out of him.
that donut
All right,
going.
boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh. He twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us show@RaidersFanRadio.com or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget Merv's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit?
Good.
All right, so welcome to episode number 212 of Wednesday Night is War around here or whatever. We appreciate you, Raider Nation. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room tonight. Was Good, that's a new name in there. Got a Giants logo there for the Avi. Appreciate you, Was Good. So he or she asked, can I call in? So what we do around here is we do what we call the Sea of Fans mailbag. And you can call at any time, 909-345-3346, and leave us a voicemail. And if we play that on the show 3 times, you become a made man or a made woman. In this case, Michelle, who's joining us tonight, was one of our very first made women. I believe it was Haley first in Scotland, then you were the second one, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And so, so definitely give us a call, and we will always feature those voicemails at the end of the show. And love hearing from our listeners. That's for those of you that are new to the show. That's what this is all about. It's all about Raider Nation. It's all about Raider a celebration of fandom. We are not analysts. We are 100% fans. Our show has enabled us to do some very, very cool things connected with the Raiders, but we are 100% not affiliated with them, and all we do is just enjoy and celebrate Raider Nation and Raider fandom. So thank you to those of you that are joining us live tonight. And speaking of that, before we get too far into the show, Swag Jeff, shout them out. Who's in the chat room?
Yeah, we got Paul in there. Everyone is just applauding Michelle and Uncle Mock for the beatdown.
Nicely done.
Just unbelievable. Yeah, absolutely. My wife is in there. She said she is so absolutely jealous of Michelle that she got to do that. So I've had that coming for a long time.
Hey, Swaggy, did you see the one in there that says we should auction off the pan? Have Michelle sign it and auction it off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. But yeah, a lot of new people in here.
Man, that's awesome.
Avelino Ramos.
Ramos,
Yep.
Yep.
Devel McGloin.
Okay.
We got some new people in here, and who said it? Devel McGloin says this podcast lit.
Oh, thank you.
So
we're
absolutely
awesome,
it is,
man. Raider Kojo is in there. Paul, of course. Schmucky the Raider Bear, of course, is in there.
Yeah.
Aaron Crocker. So many good folks. Chronicles of the Black Hole. Appreciate you joining us. Of course, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, our capo.
Yeah.
He is the leader of the Made Men and the Made
Schmucky
Women.
the Raider Bear's in there and says, way to roll with the punches there, Swag Jeff.
There you go.
And that's maybe a foreshadowing of what's going to happen during the wrestling match between Murph and Schmucky the Raider.
That might be, yeah.
You
You got to sell, man. Look, if you're going to be a good wrestler, you got to sell your opponent sometimes. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's Avelino says it's him. It's Full Metal.
Oh,
okay.
Well,
Full
there you
Metal
go.
Mexican. All right, good deal. Good to see you, Lino, of course. And all right, so a couple things here at the top of the show. 20 minutes in. A little bit of housekeeping. So we have really kicked into our content portion of the year. You know, here we are leading into the season. So we've got some great RFR conversations coming your way, including last week. I just posted up one with a good friend of the show, Pete Koch. Check in with Pete, and we have a great time catching up about,
so much fun.
all things Raiders, of course, and of course, just health and wellness and all those amazing things. Yes, Mosh.
I just wanted to let you know that I believe this was Pete's third interview, so Pete might be our first made former Raider.
Gosh.
I think you're right. Celebrate that, Mosh.
Yeah,
Hit
absolutely.
the button on that one.
That's cool.
Legit. You're right. Third former player for the Raiders.
Well, let's roll that into respect.
Let's roll that into respect.
There you
so
go.
let's
Good
first
job,
off,
Jeff.
then, thank you, Jeff. Let's go ahead and respect the aforementioned Pete Koch, who starred in many, many big-time movies, of course, with Clint Eastwood and Heartbreak Ridge and in Loverboy and all kinds of stuff. But also, he is, a former Raider. Played alongside of Greg Townsend, Howie Long, like the heyday of the L.A. Raiders, man. Pete Koch was right in the middle of that. And so great conversation with him, and congratulations, Pete, on becoming a made man, a made Raider.
I know, like that's a big deal for him. We don't have any plaques, but we could write it on a shirt or something.
Yeah, being like a famed NFL player, starred in some of the biggest movies,
right?
Like a constant working actor.
Yes, on every commercial on TV.
Yeah, trains Hollywood's elite, but no. Being a made man around here, that's the big thing, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Greg will never know.
See?
Well, you know what? We'll make him maybe next week.
Yeah, because
We can do it tonight.
Pete bumped him. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We can only make one person a show.
Okay, I got you. All right. So thank you so very much to Pete Koch. And Also, on the show, on the network here, which is now Raiders Fan Radio, no more Murph's Fan Cave. That's still what we'll call the place. We'll call the studio, but we are just Raiders Fan Radio. So if you listen to us on a podcast or YouTube or anywhere else, all you got to do is search Raiders Fan Radio and you can find us. I think at this point we're going to be okay and not get in trouble with the Raiders themselves, knowing that everything we generate around here goes to charity. So look, Raiders, we're not trying to infringe on your brand or your mark. We are giving it all away. We don't make a dang dime with this podcast. It all goes 100% to Raiders-related charities, even, most importantly. So anyway, so here on the network, you'll get the RFR conversations like Pete Koch. You get this show, the flagship show, which is Raiders Fan Radio. Also, you get Flashback with our good friend Rich Schmelter. I have episode number 3 on the way. Rich is an accredited author, authored the Raiders Encyclopedia, and Rich is now hosting a show on our network, little like 6 to 15 minute snippets on Raiders history. It's an incredible little look back at the history of the Raiders, and I would encourage you to check that out on your podcast feed. And then last but not least, I would like to give respect, and I want to hear from, we're going to start off, ladies first, start off with our guest, Michelle. I want to give a lot of respect to Raider Nation and the way Raider Nation showed up at this past week's Hall of Fame ceremonies. You know, we don't do props, we don't do shout outs, nothing wrong with those things, but much respect too. We've saw, of course you see Gorilla Rilla there, of course you see Raider Joker, you see a lot of these folks. I even think I saw Raider Bear, the guy from Facebook. I even think I saw him there. So many amazing Raiders fans, super fans that attended. Of course, the great Wayne Mabry, who we're going to celebrate in a little bit, was entered into the Hall of Fans. But I thought just an incredible representation of Raider Nation. Wish we could have been there to go to. We had some plans changed at the last minute, weren't able to go. But just, you know, it's always amazing and always wonderful to flip on a show or a ceremony or whatever and see the Raiders represented in a way that's by us fans. Because, you know, it's not by the team itself. It's not a function of the team. It's what happens organically, we as Raider fans. Michelle, did you get a chance to see everything and the you know, the leading up to the ceremonies and the ceremonies themselves and all that? Did you get a chance to see that?
I watched Tom Flores and Charles Woodson. Like I popped in and out. I watched a little bit of Peyton Manning's. Like I popped in and out and just watched some, but those were the two that I was really just waiting for.
Did you get tears?
Oh, hell yeah. I got tears. Like,
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I was sitting on the sofa and Lamont was like sitting next to me, it was just me and him. And he was like, "Are you crying?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm crying." "Why aren't you crying? This is so proud." It was just so cool. Like when Tom Flores says "not bad for two great pickers," man, I just lost it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, you know, because my dad's Mexican. Like his parents came here. And his grandparents are immigrants, and man, just hearing that, like, that was just so special. And then when Woodson sang to his mom, like, it was just like, it was just so cool. But yeah, and then seeing the Raiders fans out there, there's just something special about seeing Raiders fans. Like, I just get charged up when I see stuff like that. So it was really special. Yeah,
awesome, good deal. Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing series of events over the weekend. And we're going to get to a lot of the Hall of Fame here in just a bit. But much respect to all of you that spent your time and energy and money to travel up there. I know Rich, our buddy Rich Smelter, was there. I know Ron the Materator was there.
Yep,
a lot of good friends of our show. We're definitely in attendance. So thank you to all of you the way you held it down for Raider Nation. All right, Uncle Mosh, let's hit an audio break here, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into some news.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murph and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, you know, it was pretty funny. One of my old buddies that I used to work with, he's at a different school now, and he texted me, and he's like, "Dude, are you watching Tom Flores?" And I go, "Who?" And he goes, "Tom Flores on the Hall of Fame." And I go, "Nah, man, I don't even know who that is." And I sent him this picture.
Nice.
He's like, "You suck. When did you do that?" And I'm like, it's like, I don't know.
Me and Coach go back.
It was like Sunday or something. He came over to eat,
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I got to tell you, Mosh, I put that picture that Mosh, just for those of you on the audio podcast, showed a fantastic picture of him and Coach Flores from the Blitnikoff dinner a couple years ago. And I put on our social media that picture, and I wrote a couple of legends. And
Oh, fun.
yeah, and that picture blew up like more so than a lot of our pictures do on the Facebooks there. People love seeing a picture of you and Coach. What's up, Swag?
Do you want to make Pete Koch?
Should we just go ahead and do? I'll have to dig the audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you had that.
No, I didn't know. No, I didn't know until Mosh brought it up.
Yeah, no, that was why I played it. But that's all right. We'll get him.
Yeah. No,
we'll get him next week.
We'll get.
Hey, you know what?
Have a seat next to Greg on the curb, Pete.
Why don't we reach out to him and have him come up with an acceptance speech?
That'd be nice.
And then we'll play it. We'll play it, and then he can do his.
That'd be very nice.
We'll play the sound.
I like it.
So
yeah, good call. Good
shelved
call.
until later. And Greg, if you're listening, call us. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, okay. All right, so appreciate you joining us for this episode 212. So to kick off the show here at the top of the hour, we're gonna go ahead and jump into some Raiders news. I've got some audio bits to play. All right, so of course, those of you that are Raider fan, if you're listening to this show, you know what's up with going on with Raider Nation right now, and that is we are in the midst of training camp. We've got our first preseason game coming up this weekend against the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be for those of you that have, speaking of 212, have the NFL Network on channel 212 on the DirecTV. You can watch the game on NFL Network at 1 a.m. is a broadcast. I believe they're playing it at 1 and then at 4. That's our time. We live in Central Time. We're all from California originally, but now we all live here outside of Nashville. So for those of you on the West Coast, that's an 11 o'clock game. That's not so bad. But anyway, so you can watch the game then. But so some fun stuff that has come out of training camp this year. And first, I'd like to highlight a guy that is, I got asked on, I forget whose show I was on not that long ago, and I apologize. But the question was posed to me, who is my favorite current Raider? And
good question.
I know my answer.
Great question.
well, and okay, well, I'll tell you what. Before I give my answer, let's go around the horn. Michelle, who's your favorite current Raider?
Oh God, it's Darren Waller. I mean, he's just so much fun to watch.
Right.
I am also a huge Derek Carr fan, so like, don't start that shit in the chat.
It's already been started in here.
I mean,
there's already car
he's
talk
the
happening.
quarterback. Just suck it up and love it until he's not the quarterback right now. We haven't even started yet, so let's get started first. But Darren Waller is probably my number one.
Okay.
He's just so much fun to watch.
And such an amazing recovery story. And everything about him is amazing. I agree. Darren Waller is, I think, the one that after... Well, I don't want to sell my answer. Darren Waller, Swag Jeff, who you got? Who's your favorite current Raider? Let's not name Marcus Mariota.
Yeah. Out of the starting group, it's a toss-up. It'd be between Waller and Max Crosby.
Max,
dude.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down and
and we'll see this 1-2. I can't tell you. I'm getting more and more excited about this 1-2 punch with Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue.
Yes, dude, let's go.
That's going to be scary good. And just watching them in training camp and all that stuff, running drills even, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I feel bad for these other quarterbacks because it's going to be pain.
It's going to be badass, man. I'm with you. That's a great answer. So Darren Waller, Max, Uncle Mosh, who do you got?
Come on, who else?
You going to go Derek?
No. I mean, I love Derek. Don't get me wrong. I love all my Raiders. But who am I going to pick? Who?
Oh, I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah.
Richie Incognito.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who embodies the system the most?
That's right. Yeah, that's true. You will love. You've always been, even back. I got to tell you this and give you this credit, Mosh. For those of you that don't know in the listening audience, you've been a fan of Richie for a long time because you're like, this guy, just the way he's built, the way he looks, the way he plays. You're like, you've been saying he's a Raider for 8 years.
At least.
At least. You love you some Richie Incognito. That's cool.
Absolutely. And it's definitely not
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furl.
Oh, yeah?
He's right. It ain't Furl.
Okay, well, listen to this, says Cleveland Furl on NFL Network.
Let's get the name thing out of the way. When we were in Napa, when you got drafted, you and I sat there and talked about this. Everyone says Farrell. You say Furl.
Like referral, yes,
like
sir.
Referral.
Appreciate it.
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Furl.
It'll never
Sorry,
get
buddy, you've been saying it wrong all your life.
It'll never make it past Capo.
Nope, your parents lied to you.
All right, so we all know that Cleveland Farrell is Capo's favorite player. But so when it comes to mine, though, my answer with Darren Waller was the one that, like,
right.
I think if I really had to settle on, like Jeff asked me the other day, he's like, I'm going to get a new player jersey, a current player jersey.
Yeah, who would I get if I were to get
And I'm like, well, it's Waller. I'm like, you get Darren Waller. But my answer to the question, because I had to go with my first instinct, first name that popped into my head, I said Jonathan Abram. I freaking love Jonathan Abram. Yeah. And I know he's maligned, and I know he catches a lot of heat.
They're about to roast you in the chat.
That's okay. Bring it. Bring that shit, the chat room. Like, I'm not, like, seriously, like, for those of you that are old enough, look, I'm a 48-year-old man. I'm old enough to remember the Soul Patrol. I'm old enough to remember the mystique of the Raiders. And I understand that, like, there are a lot of you that do as well. But follow me on this. The reason that I love Jonathan Abram is that he embodies the spirit of what those players were 100%. In the late 70s and early 80s. Mosh knows that better than anybody, better even than I do. That's what he's all about. He's a badass. He plays a reckless abandon, and he's a little silly. Like, that's what the Raiders were. They were irreverent. They were funny, and they would beat your ass on Sunday. And that's what I think Jonathan Abram has the ability to do. I just don't think we've seen him play enough. So anyway, that was what my answer was. And I love the guy. Plus he wears number 24. And like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, so I'm really rooting for him, obviously, as I know we all were. And if you're not, then shame on you. You should be, because he's your freaking starting safety.
There you go.
So anyway, so here we go. Let's check in. All that 16 minutes worth of segment to get to a Jonathan Abram mic'd up at camp.
Oh, nice.
I'm mic'd up.
Mic'd up?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. Why, you got a problem with it? Somebody told me you look like me. Yeah. Somebody like me. I seen a picture of him real quick. Thought it was you. I said, man, I know I ain't that ugly.
Hey, that boy mic'd up. That boy mic'd up.
Yeah, come on, y'all take a picture with me. Come on. Y'all, come flex it up with me. Hey, y'all know we're gonna be in the back of the end zone like this all season.
Let's go.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. That might have been the best thing I seen you do since you got here. Boy sweat stink. That boy sweat boo-boo. TG, boy, you play Pee-wee. You play Pee-wee.
That's amazing. I heard that.
I love it.
Oh, it's so funny, man. I don't know who it was he was talking about, but somebody smells like ass out there sweating. But anyway, so I just see what I mean. Like, how do you not root for that guy?
Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of people forget that he was injured. Like, everyone's like, oh, well, his second year was garbage. It was really his first year.
It was his rookie
year. And
it
was
really
COVID.
His
first year.
Like, have some grace, man. Like, I'm telling you, we're going to get there with him. We're going to get there with him and so many other players. Anyways, I'm fired up for Jonathan, and I just love hearing him. He's just a great soundbite, and so I appreciate Jonathan Abram. All right, next up, and here's where we're going to get into Uncle Mosh's wheelhouse here, and I always love hearing Uncle Mosh's feedback on John Gruden. So I've got some. What, Mosh?
Nothing.
Oh, you know what? No, I don't. Shame on me. That was
was that the one you messed up?
Yeah, I messed up my notes, but. What, you want to talk about John no more?
No, I love to talk about John. I thought we put this to bed.
All right, I'll tell you what. How about we do this then?
Oh my God, you can't quit. You can't set it down.
No, I'm gonna serve you up a softball, and you're gonna yoke this out of the park. You
I
ready?
hope so.
Okay, so here's where I want your feedback.
Ask me this one. Okay. Who's my favorite Raider head coach that's active right now?
There you go.
Who is it, Mr. Tom Cable?
Yeah, right?
It's got to be Gunther. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Glad he's gone.
So Hard Knocks started last night, Mosh.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
Hard Knocks with the Dallas Cowboys, which is a distant, 31st to what the Raiders were when the Raiders were on Hard Knocks a couple of years ago. But to celebrate the beginning of the kickoff of the season of Hard Knocks, HBO released the Grudenisms.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I want to hear your take on the Grudenisms.
I get up by myself, no alarm every day. You DBs, man, you guys don't wake up till 10 o'clock or what? Let's go. Come on, I gotta take a leak. I got a dinner date tonight. Hurry up. I love it. I sit in my office and I just shake. I get so excited. Mosh pit. Benny, take the Jets with you. Get the hell off here. Good. Bam, get turned. Boom, I like that. Bam. Boof! Boof! Look
lot
at
of
cartoon. Don't hurt the grass. Get your ass moving. Don't be a brick salesman. We look like a blind man looking for the outhouse in a fog, man. Be a little bit more like me. Be a little bit of a jerk. I don't take any supplements, bro. You gotta be fresh as a daisy, man. Learn to love the misery, will you? Knock on wood if you like that.
Mosh, your hot take.
We're running out of time. My life is running out of lifespan.
You gotta love the blind man in a fog looking for an outhouse.
Isn't that great?
Oh man, he just comes up with this stuff. You know, the guy don't sleep. He's one of them 3 hours a night sleepers, you know, and so he's sitting in his office thinking, "Oh, what can I say?"
He's the best, man. Like as much look as I can criticize him for his win-loss record and blah 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 blah. You cannot beat him as a personality. He's the best personality in all of football in terms of head coaches.
100%.
Right? I mean, Dan Campbell's coming up. Dan Campbell's pretty funny. And there are some others, but Gruden still. I mean, he's the king of the
He's
of the
so funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so I'll tell you what, though. Here we go. Speaking of other Raiders head coaches, other Raiders active coaches, one of my new favorites is a guy named Ron Miles.
Miles, yeah.
Do you know Ron Miles?
I know who he is, yeah.
Okay. So Ron Miles, for those of you that don't know, has had a very storied history in the league, but since about 2011 has been a defensive backs coach for some of the best secondaries in all of football, including two of them that used to kick our ass in the Denver Broncos and in the San Diego Chargers. I'm still not going to call them LA because there's only one LA football team, and it's the Raiders. But so Ron Miles, so listen to some of the names he coached. Chris Harris Jr., Brian Dawkins, Jason Verrett, Eric Weddle, Casey Hayward, who is now a Raider, Champ Bailey, Raheem Moore. Remember these names? I do,
gosh.
because they were thumping Raider quarterbacks, picking us up for how many damn years?
Right.
So this is literally addition to us 2 times, because it's addition for us because he's a phenomenal secondary coach, but it's also addition because we've subtracted him from these other freaking teams that used to beat the crap out of, or not beat the crap out, but you know what I'm saying, have typically had our number in terms of the secondary. So I think this is an incredible addition, and I hadn't heard him speak yet. I had, because the Raiders like kind of filter it out, like who goes when and all that. It's typically Gruden, and you'll hear Mayock once in a while and whatever. But then he'll stagger in the positional coaches as well. So Ron Miles had a chance at the mic the other day, and you're gonna love this one, Mosh. You're gonna dig this guy's kind of mentality that he's bringing to training camp.
I try to be demanding, but not over the top. I just use this analogy with these guys today. It ain't prison, but it ain't a country club. So we're somewhere in the middle there is where we got to get these guys to perform. There's going to be some times where I got to love them up because they're going to need that love, and then there's other times like, come on, man, we got to do better than this. And I think that's where I come into play, trying to make sure that these guys are held accountable, but not so over the top that they don't like the game of football. We got to keep the love of the game of football, and if we can get them to do that, we may like our results on Sundays.
There's something that he said that, so for those of you that don't know, Uncle Mosh was a lifelong coach, and for a long period of my life, I coached youth sports from baseball and football and wrestling and whatnot. And everything I learned was that wasn't just things I picked up by watching sports and things on TV, but 90% of it came from Uncle Mosh. And I'll never forget, and there's a handful of things that he told me that completely resonated and stuck with me over my 13-year time doing that. But one of them that he mentioned was, I will criticize you, but I will have my arm around you and tell you I love you at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it was that messaging that I just heard from Miles just then. And it totally reminded me of the way that you used to speak in terms of like actually coaching players up, Mosh. Talk about that.
You can't belittle and pound. I know it makes them tougher. I know you got to break them down so you can put them back together the way you want them. But this isn't, like you said, it's somewhere between the penitentiary and the play yard, or whatever the phraseology was that he used. But you have to be able to, you got to be able to let people. I used to tell you all the time, if we're going to do drills, explain to the kids why we do the drills. The drill, it's wax on, wax off.
Right.
Mr. Miyagi never explained that, but when he tried to take a shot at him, the hand went up. So if you can explain that to them, and that's going to make me better. And I think that's what people like Milas do. Hey, I'm in your ass because I want you to be the best. I'm not in your ass just because I'm in your ass because I don't like you. I want you to be the best, and that's the thing. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that he's willing to say, yeah, man. I got to be the guy to tell them that they're okay. They got to do better, but they're okay.
Yeah.
So. Incredible coaching points there. Swag, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, being a former athlete for Uncle Mark.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was huge. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to get in, front leaning rest position and do push-ups and, run, do extra laps and all that stuff, and then. Of course, after practice, he beat the shit out of me, but
sorry, Ron.
Yeah, but
Ron can't control me now.
Yeah.
Michelle comes in and drops a couple F-bombs, and now we're all potty mouthing.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. But yeah, I mean, but that's but he'd do all that, but then he'd give me a big ass hug afterwards, and that's.
Well, you were my favorite back then, and everybody kind of knew it, so you had to take a few extra shots.
Well, yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Isn't that, and Michelle, don't you think that's like, those are the kind of messages and lessons that like, or techniques, I should say, that goes beyond even coaching. Those are like parenting skills, like, right? Like, don't you feel?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, I mean, when you think about like criticism, how do you know to get better if you're not getting the criticism? I mean, obviously, like you said, there's a difference between being criticized and being like, beat down.
Condemned,
like,
right? Yeah.
But I played softball. My dad was my coach, and he was more of the, beat me down. The criticism, he could have been a little better about that. But I mean, I think even with kids, like you have to tell them what they're doing wrong so they know how to adjust and make it right. Like, I mean, for adults too. I mean, I guess
that's
for
true too. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great stuff there from Coach. And those are the things that, like, I love hearing things like that, because that's, to me, I look, kind of tell I'm sort of a sports junkie. But like, these are the lessons that apply to life. Like, these are the things that I love, and it's so much of what we learned playing between those white lines, and things that not only we learned growing up, but things that we taught our boys, and the way that we coach them is like, I used to think all the time, these lessons that we're teaching them now, they're going to take this to their adulthood. And so it's so important. And I love that it builds character in a way that is not about X's and O's. And that's what Milas is doing. He's taking a very young secondary and he's bolstering them as men. And I think that's a phenomenal thing.
So growing up, there was never any doubt that my mom loved me, even when she was whacking me with the wood spoon. I may have hated her at the time, but there was nobody else better touch me with the wood spoon.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So I have this philosophy that's what's wrong with today's society, is that what's wrong is I call it the wood spoon and the participationship trophy. Too much of one and not enough of the other. You don't need a participationship trophy. That's why I hate soccer. I know I'm in the minority.
Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, all my friends.
Sorry, Damage Inc., Raider Nation Scotland.
All over the entire...
Sorry, Silver and Black UK. So I was just being silly. I'm not cutting you off. Go ahead. I got the look right there. And I'm
holy crap.
Jeez, I was just trying to be funny, man.
I've gotten that look so many times.
All right, I'm going to... Sorry, I was just trying to make a joke.
So my point was that's where I think in this country, that's where the participationship trophy developed, was with soccer. And that's why I hate it. And and I used to tell my players all the time, I used to tell Swaggy, it's a great girl sport, but Jesus. But
holy crap.
The point
we just lost like 5 subscribers.
At Uncle_Mosh on Twitter. Uncle Mosh's views are not necessarily those reflective of those here at Murph's Fan Cave or the Raiders Fan Radio hosts. Okay.
Or their guests.
Or their guests. All right, Mom,
you didn't play soccer. You played a real sport.
Yeah,
you played
and you
softball.
won or you lost.
That's right. You won or you lost. And if you lost, you might have got the wood spoon.
Oh, my gosh. That's amazing. All right, Uncle Mosh, hit
We're not going to do Champ Bailey. Oh, no.
No, that's part of the
that's part of it.
Hit a break. Let's talk about the Hall of Fame.
Okay. Hey, speaking of the Hall of Fame, this guy's next.
Nobody
Let's
enjoyed
go.
a good Donnybrook more than sixth-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome, man! We had so much fun tonight already. This is the best.
So
What is it, Swaggo?
So I got to tell you,
Okay, tell me.
Michelle, my best friend over here,
Yeah.
looks to her left and goes, "Can I get another beer?" I'm like,
Well,
yeah. Only if you bring me one.
She's
You know
only,
what I mean?
she's only 9 into it. Of course she can.
She goes, "Is there like specific beer times?" I'm like, "It's beer 30
Beer
right now."
There you go.
Absolutely.
So I got an
And she
idea.
brought some amazing beer
Oh my
over
God.
too. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Let's go off the rails here a second. I got an idea.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because we haven't been off the rails yet.
So I think Raiders Fan Radio, and even if we don't do it, I think I'm going to do it.
Okay.
I'm going to contract Michelle
Okay.
to make a Raiders style something. You know, she's made. Hold up the ship. No, not yet, not that one. Hold up the ship in front of your camera. Okay.
You gonna make her lift that whole thing up?
Yes, I am, Jeff. Look at her. She's fine.
She made it.
She made that. She
I
lifted
know
it.
where to grab it.
So
amazing.
what I'm saying
So
is that
badass.
for our next fundraiser,
Yeah.
we are going to contract Michelle to make a one-of-a-kind Raiders something.
Okay.
And we're going to auction that off. We're going to go...
Well, the freaking ship that she made, because that's the one that she made for us.
Yeah, we're not getting rid of that.
No, but she made another one that we raised a bunch of money with.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna contract her to make something, and we're gonna do that on our next one.
Okay.
We'll give her
All
enough
right.
time during the rest of the off season, and when we start, when we get going, and we'll let you know. We'll let you know, chat room. We'll let you know, everybody.
Absolutely.
And just so everyone knows, everything that I do is one of a kind. I don't recreate pieces. So, like the ship, I make ships, but they're all different. Because the pieces that I use are like things that I find. So it's very hard to recreate, but everything that I do is one of a kind.
So shout out, and shame on me for not asking this earlier. Shout out, we've got your Instagram on the screen there, but tell everybody where they can find you and should they want, because you've had people reach out to you and be like, hey, I want one of those too.
Right now, yeah.
Okay.
So Inclined to Improvise. I'm on Inclined to Improvise on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter, but it's Inclined to because there's not enough spaces for me to be Inclined to Improvise. I'm really only on Twitter though for Raiders stuff, so I don't do a whole lot on there with my art. But my email is montenshell@gmail.com, and you can find that on Instagram too. So just hit me up on email or through a DM or something. And that's how you find me. And my website is inclinedtoimprovise.com, and you can kind of see some of my work. So
Is this a time to unveil?
Yeah. So we've had a couple of donations tonight. The summer
let's hit
swag
those,
is over for now, at least for the week. But Big Bass Raider still he donated $20 tonight.
Oh, thank you, Big Bass.
For the One Nation Foundation, and Darth Vader Raider has donated $10.
Let's
to
go.
the One Nation
Let's
Foundation.
go. Give him some applause, Mosh.
Yeah, man,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
awesome.
And then Schmucky the Raider Bear.
Hey, Schmucky!
Schmucky the Raider Bear has donated $20 as well, and that kind of is a segue to what we're fixing to talk about.
All right, let's go ahead, Michelle. So speaking of this amazing art that she makes, look what Michelle. Let's go.
Yes.
That is incredible. Michelle made a Schmucky the Raider Bear with a section 405. For those of you that are on the audio podcast, he's got like a chain around his neck. He's got a Raiders block on there. And look he's got an eye patch on there with the Raiders shield. And it's a full-on Schmucky the Raider Bear.
The best.
It's a Schmucky on the
It
pedestal
is unbelievable.
there. But the 405 flag is what sets it off. That is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Michelle. That is so freaking cool. So do we get to put that here on display in the fan
you
cave?
get to keep him. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he could stand at my house, but I think he'd have more fun here, obviously.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna have to find a spot back here because we want him on display, Mosh. We want him over my right shoulder here. That is incredible. Thank you so very, very much, Michelle.
Absolutely,
She's
absolutely.
incredibly talented artist. And so for those of you, again, hit her up, Inclined to Improvise on Instagram. And we'll definitely do what Mosh said as well. We'll contract out some pieces for the next set of fundraising that we do for next year. All right, and so for those, and just one quick last little tag on that, for those of you that didn't hear last week, we officially have submitted our donation to the Blitnikoff Foundation.
Yeah.
You all, Raider Nation, and the listeners of Raiders Fan Radio, because of kind donations like Foxy Scorpio. Who else, Jeff? I saw Darth Vader Raider.
Yeah, Darth
Schmucky,
Vader Raider.
Big Bass.
Running Bear donated $1, and Foxy Scorpio $20.
Thank you so very much. So collectively, that money goes to the One Nation Foundation, and we did, as I mentioned, we sent our check last week for $4,000 to the Blitnikoff Foundation, and thank you so very, very, very much. That is 100% from you all, and we appreciate you and what you've been able to do to help us support Blitnikoff through the One Nation Foundation. All right, here we go. So let's talk about the Hall of Fame. So before we get to the players and Coach that were entered in on behalf of the Raiders this year, I want to first talk about the fans. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are a fan-based show. We like to celebrate Raider Nation and, of course, all the great fans amongst Raider Nation. And two of the best, I wish I have the cards here handy. Two of the best, to me, there are two super fans, and then there's everyone else. That doesn't, that comment is not meant to disparage. You got him, Jeff? Thank you. That comment is not to disparage any of our good friends, and we know many. Like Schmucky, like Raider Joker, like, of course, Kevin the Raider Nerd, who is the Mandalorian. We have so many good friends of our Erie Raider. Like, there are so many super fans. But it's these two guys, and then it's everyone else kind of playing for second place. So there's Gorilla Rilla, of course, who you all know very, very well. All right, that's our buddy Mark, who we've gotten a chance to meet a few times over the years. And then there is the Violator. There is Wayne Mabry, the Violator, who that's your wheelhouse, Michelle. He started as an LA, going to the LA Raider games. And so Wayne Mabry has been admitted to the Ford Hall of Fans, which is in addition to the Hall of Fame. This just started a couple years ago. So Wayne is, like, I believe, part of the third class of the Hall of Fans. And so, you know, no one better, again, than him. And I would hope Gorilla Rilla would be shortly to come soon.
Yeah.
But so an incredible choice. And so we've had Wayne. Wayne was one of the very first, we call him whatever, celebrity guests we had on the show. Sonny and I were like, man, if we could get Wayne on, that would be awesome. Wayne is the coolest guy, the most God-fearing, humble, nicest man on the planet, and has one of the most badass get-ups and makeup that just looks like a freaking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just he's intimidating. There's a reason he's called the Violator.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
so
both of them are that way, because we hung out with Gorilla Rilla a ton in Oakland in 19. He was at the Blitnikoff event.
Yes.
Obviously not in his gorilla costume, but but we got to meet him and talk to him and recognized us. I mean, he listens and watches
we had
the
also
show
met him at the draft.
We met him at the draft.
There you go.
At
the draft, and then we got to see him on Sunday at the game at the Coliseum. And all that. Yeah, I mean,
we were in Vegas last year.
Oh, yeah.
He freaking literally snatched you out of a camera shot.
Oh, my God.
That was the funniest thing. If you ever want to see Swag Jeff get kidnapped on camera, it's the best. It's Mark reaching over, and he does the thing. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can go to my camera. He reaches around and, like, off because Mark is off frame, so all you see is this big gorilla hand come in and hook around Jeff's head and go.
Yeah, it looked like one of those cartoons where, like, my hat and my mask stayed there.
That was incredible, man. That was incredible. So, anyways, so congratulations, though, to all the of course, the super fans that were in attendance, but congratulations to Wayne Mabry for getting inducted into the Hall of Fans, and let's check in with Wayne and hear about his experience.
I'm Wayne Mabry, better known as a Violator. I'm here on behalf of Ford Motor Company and the Pro Football Hall of Fame to pick up my blue jacket and my ring for my 30 years of dedication as a diehard ambassador. When I saw this, I fell in love. 12 years old, man. God willing, I'll turn 65 this November, and the fire's still just as bright as day one. There's 31 other colors, but mine's silver and black. It's been an honor representing the nation, all the family that I've witnessed growing up together. It's been a pleasure. I love you guys. When they pull the curtain back, oh my God, the display was just like me looking at myself and it's speaking to me now. It's almost like a legacy, and that's what I've always been about, a legacy.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, so we love this guy, man. He's amazing.
Wayne's the best.
He's amazing. Like Swaggy said, we love Gorilla too. But there's somebody else that we love that has been kind of instrumental in getting us a lot of folks listening to us, talking about us. Now that our loyal
Chat
listeners
rooms lighting up over there.
Chat rooms lighting up, and that's Mikey.
Yeah.
I think when we're talking about Hall of Fame and we're talking about fans and we're talking about people that are just ate up with Raiders, I think you know the most of it because you've actually been in contact with Raider Mikey, and I love that guy, man.
Mikey's the best.
As much as I give him crap, unlike Kevin, who I don't like that I give crap to, but I love Mikey. And he's great, man. He's great. Give us the take on that because you know what's up.
All right. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we did a show together for a few years. Mikey and I did. So Mikey Raider from Raider Central, we did a show called Mondays with Mikey and Murph. And yes, a lot of our current listeners and current watchers, whatever, got to know us and what we do at Raiders Fan Radio through what Mikey and I did together. And Mikey became a great friend of mine off the air as well. Mikey is a great dude. And so he has had just kind of a series of challenges that have kept him from being able to produce the same volume of content of what he is accustomed to, including Mondays with Mikey and Murph. Mikey and I remain great friends, and we don't not do that show because of anything other than that. It's more of a technical challenge for us to do it at the level of which we would want to produce something in terms of a show. So Mikey's YouTube channel, and this is what they're talking about in the chat, Mikey's YouTube channel got turned off. YouTube, for whatever reason, I'm not here to criticize YouTube in one way or the other. I don't know why they do a lot of the things that they do, but for whatever reason, they chose that Mikey was infringing on whatever he was, and they shut down his content, and they shut down his channel. So Mikey was then looking for an alternate source to broadcast, and now he's on Twitch. So we're going to keep it on the positive here.
Oh, nice.
So good. Find Mikey on Twitch. But then also Mikey stayed in touch, and he's told me, he's like, I'm so sorry, because he wanted to rekindle Mondays with Mikey and Murph for this season. And he was like, well, what about if we just do it on your channel? And I'm like, okay, let's do that. So I think what we're going to do is that instead of doing it live like we used to, Mikey and I are going to record Mondays with Mikey and Murph, and then we will upload it here on the Raiders Fan Radio channel. So that's just some early talks and kicking around some ideas, but Mikey is still up and running. He's a great friend of ours. We love him to death. He's had some challenges. Support him any way that you can, Raider Nation. And I thank you to those of you that found us through them and through that channel. And, it's Mikey's not going away. And so I'm really thankful for the interest, and because it dominated our chat room there for a second.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's fair for us to bring it up. And so thank you so much. We're coming back.
Yeah. Right on.
We'll be around, and we got to figure it out. Yeah.
I just want to hear him sing.
Oh,
it's Monday with Mikey and Muff. We're talking football on Raiders.
Pretty close. All right, let's go ahead and continue with the Hall of Fame discussion. All right, so here's the one. This was the one that put me in tears early on. So, talking about Coach Flores, he was second on the bill, Mosh. Do you know why Coach Flores was second on the bill?
No.
Because he's 84 years old and he has to be in bed by 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
And which is not dissimilar from you.
No.
Yeah, so that's why we got to get the show moving. But here's the thing. So when Tom Flores...
Talking to the guy that doesn't sleep.
Well, yeah. So when Tom Flores came out, of course, it was such an emotional time. It's been such a long buildup for Coach. But knowing where he's at, I'm going to call him an advanced age. But when you're 84, it's it's what it is. And, coming out in the wheelchair, and then as he pushed himself and he fought to his feet, that alone, I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like,
Sure,
I'm already freaking crying before he ever
100%.
freaking got started. But then he started off with had that amazing line about I'm a second on the bill because I got to get to bed. But Michelle, you and I talked a little bit pre-show about kind of how emotional that was. You mentioned also too when we first started talking about this about like how he referenced how not bad for a former great picker, right? Like talk a little bit about that, about the emotion behind it and how that made you kind of feel as a fan watching it.
Yeah, it was just cool, like just hearing him, and he was so articulate still, and he was still so spoke so well, and he spoke so highly of his family and his wife and his grandkids, and just thanking them for supporting him through like all of the time, but just the milestones that he hit, and just being the Hispanic coach.
So he was the second because Tom Fears is the first Hispanic coach in the Hall of Fame. Second, but he was the first one, a Super Bowl, and also the first Latino quarterback, right?
Yeah,
I believe that's what
correct.
was.
Yeah. And just like what that must mean to him as a Hispanic, like just what that must mean to his family. I mean, I know he's 84, so his parents are probably gone, but most likely. But like it just meant so much to me just watching that and just knowing the possibilities, that are still available. I hate that he had to wait so long.
Yeah.
I'm really glad he was still able to make
Yeah.
the speech himself, like and articulate.
Didn't have to
so
do like
well.
a pre-recorded thing or something.
Yeah, like he was able to do that and embrace, and all the guys sitting there and like his family out there, like he was able to like feel that special moment. Like that was really cool, and just watching that was just just emotional. Just watching that.
And I love the fact that Carol Davis was the one that introduced him.
Yeah.
And then of course
cool
she couldn't be there. Of course she's got to be in her 90s, right?
For sure.
So she wasn't, but of course Mark was able to be there for it. Jeff, what was your kind of takeaway on it?
Yeah, I mean, you guys said it all. It was just, how cool was it for him to, stand up and get up there and do his thing, and
and then he was funny.
And then he was funny.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I say. I mean, has the good spirits to.
Yeah, because he made the joke about the teleprompter, like that he read reading off of the paper and not the teleprompter. Even though I think at the end he was. Just
I think at the end, because I think it dropped.
I think
something dropped because you heard it go like.
And he was like, "Oh, what was that?"
Shit.
Exactly. So it was so cool. Yeah, it was amazing to see him up there. I mean, and long overdue. I mean,
absolutely.
Hall of Fame, be better. I mean, come on. Why did it take until 2021 to get this guy in here?
Come on. Absolutely.
Because they hate the Raiders.
Well,
next question.
Right? And Mosh, and speaking from an old school guy, from an old school Raider fan, like, isn't that kind of like, does it feel like, okay, let me ask you an honest question here. Okay. They're all honest questions, but let me ask you a very, a sincere question, not loaded with my Raider fandom. Do we really get that overlooked? When we talk about, okay, now we got Flores in, but like when we look at Cliff Branch, or we look at Lester Hayes, we look at Jack Tatum, we look at Phil Villapiano, we look at Sistra, whatever, you name it, all these historic Raiders that are consistently overlooked by the Hall of Fame. Is that us being butthurt as Raider fans because we're used to being overlooked on everything else anyways? Or do you think that's genuine? And I'm going to save everybody my big rant on Cliff Branch, but when you look at Cliff Branch's stats versus Drew Pearson and Harold Carmichael, who got in ahead of him, Cliffy is dominant in every single effing category, including having 3 Super Bowls. How you can consider that man's career?
You asked me a question.
I'm going to shut up.
And then you're going on a rant.
I know. Sorry.
You do that. It drives me nuts.
Okay, sorry. I'll shut up. You go.
So my take on that is how can they justify putting in somebody like Freddie B, who he was put in because of his play for the Oakland Raiders
in like 1988,
and the bulk of the balls that he caught were thrown by who?
Kenny Stabler,
who wasn't put in until posthumously.
Yep.
Until after he was
4
gone,
years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was.
Until after he was gone. If that doesn't spell it out, waiting for Coach Flores until 2021,
man,
come on.
That won his last Super Bowl in 1983.
Come on. He, the first Hispanic quarterback, the first Hispanic assistant coach, and the first Hispanic head coach to win a Super Bowl, and you got to wait till 2021? Come on, it's a thing. It's a thing. Okay. You're not seeing that with other teams. You're not seeing that with other superstars. You don't see that. You don't see the Dallas Cowgirls going, where's Roger Staubach? Why did he have to? He was a first ballot guy. Yep. I mean, it's Pittsburgh. Mean Joe Green. He was a first ballot guy.
All those
they're
guys
all
are
there.
Mel Blount,
Rocky Bleier. They're all there. They're all there. They're all there. And you don't have another team out of the 32. You don't have another team with the snub factor that we do.
Yeah.
But the Raiders of old would say we don't need no damn Hall of Fame.
Let's go.
Because we took your head off.
Exactly.
When you're from the University of Mars, you don't care. You don't even know what a Hall of Fame is. Canton who?
Love it.
Yeah, I knocked your teeth out. Oh, sorry. Maybe the bust that they create will have your mouth closed like this. Come on.
Nicely done. Nicely done. All right. Thank you, Uncle Mosh. All right. So speaking of legends, so there are, we're a big fan of pop culture around here. And of course, we always talk about Raider legends, but there are musical legends. Speaking of historic Hispanic celebrities in terms of pop culture, none bigger, or a lot of them, than Carlos Santana in the world of rock and roll.
Absolutely.
I've been listening to one of my favorite albums, 1969, the self-titled Santana album, the one with all the crazy lions and all that stuff in the front. You know what I'm talking about, Michelle?
Yeah, yeah.
I remember being as a kid, like my dad had that album. I remember just like staring at it, just like finding all the faces and all that stuff. Anyways, so Carlos Santana and Tom Flores are huge friends. I didn't know this. I knew that Carlos had said he wants to be one of the first to play the national anthem in Allegiant Stadium, and we've known for a long time he was just a big Raider fan.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that him and Coach Flores were such good friends. And so I've got some audio here on Carlos and Tom hanging out before he goes into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, cool.
Hey.
Hello,
welcome.
Carlos. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good
Coach.
to see you. Thank you for inviting me.
Coach, welcome. I always wanted to share with you that when I was in my teens and early 20s, I learned things from the narrative of the Oakland Raiders was like commitment to excellence. The way they walk, off the field, winning or losing, they walk a certain pride and honor. That's what drew me in to the Raiders.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, when in the football world, it's a real team unity, and you practice all the individual parts. And then when you put them all together, when they fit, it just feels so good.
I don't know if Coach would put his Hancock in here.
I'd love to.
I'm very, very invested emotionally, into my team, Silver and Black.
I love that. That was my favorite part of the whole thing is the very end. I want to almost take that and use that as a sound clip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm very invested emotionally.
That's the truth.
Right? I mean, isn't that the thing? Isn't that like kind of what defines Raider fandom, Michelle, is like the amount of passion that you bring to it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I love Carlos Santana. He's incredible live. Like, he is so
Oh, have
good.
you seen him?
Yeah,
I've never
seen him.
seen
Yeah,
him.
he's so good. He's so like always so calm, and like he sounds
chill.
so
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
wise, So, and he reminds me a lot of my dad, and I love Carlos Santana. But yeah, like there's something like, and I'm sure, no, probably not. Other fans of other teams have like some sort of camaraderie, but not like Raiders fans,
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like there's something so cool. I was telling Jeff the other day, I was coming out of Lowe's. I was getting like some crap at Lowe's, and I was walking out, and up ahead of me, I saw like a guy with the Raiders hat. I had on backwards, he had some wood on his shoulder, and I was like, Raiders, because that's like how I want to check if they're like a real Raiders
That's
fan, or
exactly
like some
right.
bullshit
Yeah,
ass, somebody trying to wear a hat because it's fucking badass. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So I was like, and he turned around, he was like, Raiders,
nice.
and he like
so cool.
pumped his fist, and I was like, oh, sorry. And he was like, yeah, and I was like, that there's just like this like connection between other Raiders fans that you don't see. Like, I don't ever see a Steelers fan in Kroger yelling at another Steelers fan,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
but if
yeah.
you see another Raiders fan, they're chanting at each other.
Yeah.
And there's just something so cool about that. There's something so special about that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And it's anywhere you go.
Everywhere you go.
It's no matter what.
Yep.
We've been in Tunica, Mississippi, and he and I have done that.
Yep.
And heard it back.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
every person you got to see, you got to do that. You got to go. Raiders!
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
hey man, Raiders, baby.
And if they
like,
don't say it back, give me your hat. Like, give me your hat because you're not a damn Raiders fan. Give me your hat. I don't rip the patch off your shirt. I don't know, but you better chant it back.
Absolutely, you better know what I'm talking about. That's exactly right. Absolutely, man. I love it. All right, some great stuff there. And all right, so it's one thing to hear our opinion about Tom Flores. It's one thing to hear about Carlos Santana's, kind of opinion about Raider Nation, his connection with Tom Flores. But the ultimate Raider godfather, the Maverick. Let's hear what Al Davis. I went back and dug into the archives a little bit, but let's listen to what Al Davis thought about Tom Flores.
Tom Flores has a special place in the hearts of the Raider organization, and especially his teammates and the players he coached, who wore and wear the famed silver and black. He wore those colors with pride, with poise, and with class. He was and is a star among stars. His loyalty, devotion, dedication still reap the rewards of victory. When Tom won his first world championship in 1980, in just his second season as head coach, it made Tom Flores at that time the only person in NFL history to win a Super Bowl as a player, as an assistant coach, and as a head coach. And if this sounds like an enshrinement in the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, it is not now, but it may well be someday.
Those comments were made in 1988.
Wow.
Jeez.
Isn't that
1988, and it took 33 years to get here. That's bullshit. Sorry, bullcrap.
Bullshit. It is.
You go, Michelle. But right, like I mean,
everyone's got to be saying that. You don't even have to be a Raiders fan to think that's bullshit. Like, I don't think so. I mean, shit.
So here's my thought process on a lot of that.
Because we've had a lot of discussions about Flores and what kept them out.
So what I was going to say was that the what was it you said that one time?
What?
About hot dogs? No. remember when Mikey? I'm going down. I'm going down a rabbit hole here.
I don't know. Was I drinking?
No. Remember. You go. Okay, hot dog. I'll get it or something. Remember.
No. As long as it was plural, I guess that's a good thing.
Good grief. What the hell is happening?
I think what I said was that somebody kept cutting me off, and I said,
"You've been doing me tonight."
No, I'm not cutting you off. I said, "Take it easy, hot rod."
Oh, hot rod.
Yeah. I said, "Take it easy, hot rod. Don't rev it up so much. Let me go ahead and get a word in." But, no, I wasn't talking about hot dogs.
Yeah, I knew it was something about food.
Is a hot rod food too? Now I'm really confused.
Yeah, I don't think hot rod's a food, pal.
I'm snapping into a Slim Jim over here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah. So my point is,
I think we killed Michelle, by the way.
Yeah, we did.
Murph, remember that thing you talked about with the hot dogs? Nah, bro.
First face froze. Like,
he's looking over at us going,
sometimes
where is he about to go with this?
Sometimes I just have to get him. Sometimes I just have to knock him off his rails.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, what about what I'm getting at is other fans. We talked about our fandom, okay?
Yes.
We know our fandom because that's our fandom.
Yes.
Okay? I was in the Air Force. I can't talk to you about the Army. I can't talk to you about the Navy, the Coast Guard, or the Marines, okay? I respect them, but I can't talk about them because I didn't go through that. Okay? But what I can do is I have lived in other major metropolitan areas just like you have.
Yes, absolutely.
And I have lived in Denver. I have been to hell and back. and so I know what it was like. I know I was in Denver in the 70s when it was the Orange Crush world. You know, I was there. I was there when Al Zato was a Bronco. You know, and so I guess what I'm saying is that I have seen you were in Miami, for crying out loud.
I lived in Miami for almost 4 years. Yeah,
Jeff's from San Diego. You know, well, that doesn't count. Yeah. But the point is that we have lived in other major metropolitan areas that have supported pro football teams, and I have never seen, the closest was in Denver during that heyday. Okay, but it wasn't to the level of Raider Nation,
no,
and it was the biggest thing going. I think that guy that used to wear the barrel might even be in that fan Hall of Fame with Violator. I don't know, but what I'm saying is they had their shot, but it wasn't a lasting thing. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The queefs have come out of the damn woodwork in the last couple of years.
Oh my gosh, they're everywhere.
Right? And like you said, when we were at the draft in 2019, and we saw 600,000 of our fellow football fans, and the section of them that were wearing Chiefs shirts all said Mahomes.
Yep,
all
every
of them.
one of
Every
them.
last one.
Every one
Yep,
of them.
yep.
Yeah.
And
where's freaking like Derek Thomas? Where's like anybody? Len Dawson? I mean, somebody. Yeah.
We went. Murph and I worked together in real life, and actually made a call today. And I wore my camouflage Raider hat into the call.
Yeah, you did.
And we walk in, and one of the guys' offices that we're gonna go meet had this like Kansas City Chiefs big huge sign and all that, but it looked brand new.
It was brand new.
Yeah, he didn't have that for long.
Right. So my point is that you can't pick, even though we've all experienced it and all been around, you can't pick another group that has the fan base that transcends the entire world the way we do.
Yes.
You know, where else are you going to find a stupid little podcast coming out of a stupid little room in middle stupid Tennessee, and you got people from Scotland? You got Paul Egerton in there. You got people from all over the world. You know, when Rico shows up, if he finds out Michelle's here, when Rico shows up from the Canary Islands, you know, we
got Australia. We've seen what, Belgium.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Oh, of course, we would have French listeners, but Uncle Mosh started an international incident, and Paul has had to fend off the French because Uncle Mosh pissed them all off. So
I can't help.
Thank you, Paul, for your service. But yeah, man,
no kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone asked about Uncle Mosh's take on Lionel Messi. He said, "What's Mosh's take on Messi?" And he said, "I don't think he knows what a Messi is."
No, he might have made a Messi before the show started.
Yeah.
If this goes much longer, I'm going to have to bow out and go make another Messi.
All right. Well, in case you're wondering about our show, we're not too reverent around here. So, all right, let's celebrate the last. That's a hard one for me to switch gears on. Hit a break, Mosh, so then we can come back and talk about Charles freaking Woodson.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's up? It's Brockman from The Rich Eisen Show.
And it's Del Tufo from The Rich Eisen Show.
You're listening to Murph and Mosh on Raiders Fan Radio. Yes!
What Paul wrote?
Oh my gosh. And Lee B in the chat room too. I guess Ron must have said something in there because Lee B says even Ron is cussing now. This is snowballing.
Nice.
I don't know what's going on in the chat because I don't get a chance to follow it tight. But who's in there?
Yeah. Ron the Materator says Denver is derived from the French word meaning shit pile. Yeah, but Renegade.
Paul says I'd never protect the French.
Yeah, Paul said he'd never protect the French.
And I wasn't the one that said that, Paul, because I know you hate them as much as I do.
Well, yeah.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Too funny. All right, Swag Jeff. So what's going on?
We got Lino the Full Metal Mexicans in there. Renegade,
funny.
Darth Vader Raider, Paul, Raider Critique, Big Easy, B Al, Jack Kenna. Tyrone Graves, Big Easy, the Mangus boys are in there. Aaron Crocker's in there, and he's from Australia, right?
Yes, Aaron is from Australia. Correct.
Yep. So, Tyrone Grace, Franklin 83, Schmucky the Raider Bear, Big Bass Raiders in there. Yeah, man. Everyone is in there.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thank you all so very, very much for joining us for episode number 212. Appreciate, of course, Uncle Mosh and Swag Jeff and our guest Michelle tonight. Thank you for joining me here in the Fan Cave for episode 212. All right, so one more before we get to the Sea of Fans, where we check in from the best of Raider Nation. Of course, we can't look. This was a tough one for me because this is arguably one of the most significant Raiders of the modern Raiders. I don't even know if it's arguable. This is the most significant entry into the Hall of Fame that we've had in a very, very, very long time. Mosh mentioned when Kenny went in, but Kenny was so delayed, where this guy went in, obviously first ballot, the first year of eligibility. You guys know I'm talking about Charles Woodson. So I didn't want to feature a whole series of audio clips because, look, if you're listening to this show, I would hope that you have seen and or heard Charles's speech. I will just tell you this, that some of these things, I'm not a big crier. I don't cry at movies. I'll get a little teary or choked up at things at times or whatever. I'm not a heartless bastard, but I'm not a crier. But something about this speech freaking nailed me, man. This, when maybe I had too many red wines by the time we got to freaking.
Well, talk about the video you were gonna post.
Well, people do those reaction videos. So I didn't show it because I thought it was a little too self-serving because I was sitting there holding my phone. But I'm I filmed myself as I'm watching, and I'm not like that kind of bawling, but enough to where tears are running down my face, and I'm white, and I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And so. Anyways, it freaking hit. It comes out of nowhere. It's not again, I'm not trying to be protective or manly and be like, oh, I don't cry. I just, you know what I mean? It's just that something about his speech, man, just freaking whammo. Anyways, so I'm going to play a little bit from his speech, and then I want to go around the horn and kind of hear what your all's feeling is on this. But this was the part that got me. He got, I think, maybe a little unfairly criticized by some members of Raider Nation, saying oh, he didn't talk about Al Davis the way that Tom Flores did or whatever. But Raider Nation is family. It's La Familia. We know that. And if that sentiment wasn't expressed explicitly in these comments, then I don't know what else would be. So let's check in with Chuck.
Any Oakland Raider fan, Las Vegas Raider fan, stand up. Keep standing. Keep standing. Anybody who's a fan of the way I played the game of football, you stand up too. Anybody. My coach Lloyd Carr told me a long time ago, there's no one bigger than the team. No one bigger than the team. The things we were able to accomplish. Keep standing. Don't sit down. Stand up.
I love that. I love that.
We did this together. Together, me and you. We were Mr. Ohio together. We were a Heisman Trophy winner together. We were national champions together. We were defensive rookies together. Defensive player of the year together. Super Bowl champions together. So when I say that when I go in, we all go in, I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
It's incredible, isn't it? Swag Jeff, give me your first thoughts as we go around.
First off, just the way that it started, the tribute to his mom, which I think is really cool because he's also the guy that is continuing Willie Brown's legacy.
Right.
Stuff.
Good
for
call.
him to bring in his mom
Good
and
call.
to honor his mom in that way and to sing to his mom and just have your mom. I want to know how many players have had their mom do that for them.
Well, none of the Raiders, because they've all had Al Davis and now Mark Davis.
Right,
is it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So and even just in the Hall of Fame in general.
Sure,
I'm sure there's probably only a handful of people that have ever done that. So I thought it was really cool. But and just that keep standing, get up. We were all part of this together. And shouting out Raider Nation and the fans and stuff like that. It's no wonder that this guy is, so many people's favorite Raiders of all time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great stuff. Michelle, he's your all-time favorite player.
He sure is. Yeah. Just hearing that, I was trying to, getting a little emotional just hearing it because it just, and when he said, we're family. Like, he was talking to all of us. Like, I know he didn't really address like some things that a lot of people thought maybe he should have addressed, but first of all, it's his damn Hall of Fame speech, so
You're
he
right,
can say whatever the hell he
right.
wants, you know. So just sitting there and watching that, and like Devin, my son, who's probably like, Lamont is a Raiders fan, but he's like a married into it Raiders fan, and, you know. So I just dress him the way I want to dress him on Sundays, and you know, like, so he's
lay out his clothes for him.
I do. I'm like, not that one. Let's wear the other one.
Oh, I love that.
And so, and he just does it. He just does, and he lets me paint his face, and like he lets me do all that. So he's great for that. But Devin is like my little fan that's become my Raider butt, you know, buddy. Like, and he'll, and Libby, like, she likes the Raider stuff because it's like, you know, looks good and, you know, it's cute. And she's starting to learn a little bit more about football, but she never really kind of cared. But Devin, and man, he loves Charles Woodson. Yeah. And so that's like where
and he's young. He's the same age as Tristan.
He's 18 years
so
old. Yeah.
He probably has very little memories, at least, of Charles
guys,
actively.
His first friggin' Raiders game was that damn Atlanta game. You know,
that's right.
So you know, he got really inducted. Rough. But he's still hanging in there. You know, he's still wearing his Raiders gear. The next weekend, he was still wearing his Raider gear.
Awesome.
But yeah, like, so that was just listening to him, and Charles Woodson has such a pride, and he just loves football so much. And I totally get it. I didn't play football. You know, I'm a woman, but I didn't play football. But man, I love to watch it, and I love to hear people talk about it. And just hearing him, he was so proud, and he wanted everyone to like take that in with him, and he just wanted to take that time to just let everybody just do that with him. And I just thought that was incredible.
So cool. The amount of conviction that was in his voice, that's what it is,
you
right?
Could feel
passion,
his emotions, passion. Yeah, you could feel it. It was
what about
great.
the way that he talked? I mean, he was like looking at his family and talking to his family. I mean, talking to his boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it just gives you chills, man. Like, it's like, you know, you don't understand why your pop's up here crying right now, but
you will in 30 years.
30 years when you busted your ass the way I busted my ass, like, you'll understand how proud of a moment that this is. And, you know, it was so cool.
One of my favorite comments too that he made, and Mosh, I want to throw it to you on this, is that, you know, he said, whoever said a woman can't raise a man, that's bullshit, because my mom raised two.
Yeah.
And immediately I snapped to think about you and Uncle Bruzzy and Uncle Louie and about Grandma Jenny, because, you know, I don't want to get into all the family history here, Mosh, but like, that had to have hit. A comment like that is so present in our family, you know, on both sides of the Murphys and the Saltalamacchia side. You know, what were your takeaways of the speech?
Well, you know, everybody has a mom. Everybody has a mom. You all got moms, you know. You may not know who your dad is. You may not know where your dad is. Your dad may not been there, but everybody's got a mom, you know. And there may be some weird, you know, arguments that you can have on that, but you know, there's a reason why professional athletes, for as long as I can remember, and I'm 62 years old, that when the camera's on them, they're going, "We're number one. Hey, mom." You know, everybody's got a mom. And, you know, and you're right. My mom, you know, my old man died on my 4th birthday. So, you know, and I was the youngest. And, you know, here this 34-year-old woman was left with 4 kids, you know, under the age of 13, and raised us right. You know, raised us. You know, we all played sports. You know, we could do anything we had to do, and mom was there as best she could with what she had. And, you know, and I'm just one of a gazillion stories like that. You know, his story was that he attained the highest level possible.
Yeah.
You know, and to be on that stage, which is the highest level possible, and to give that recognition to, number one, the fans. And number 2 is, you know, his family and the fans, you know, put them together, lump them however you want. Man, that's, you know, we always say that, you know, I always say it to my kids, I teach, you know, and I always say that family first, always. It's just the way it is. Yeah. You know, that's just the way it is, and that's the way it should be. And, you know, it goes back to the wooden spoon and the participation trophy.
There we go.
You know? I mean, seriously, though, you know, that's what, he's lucky. He's a lucky man. He's a lucky man. He had a great ma. He had a great family. Yeah. He had all these people around him. And, to give them the shout out like he did, that's just rocks, pretty man. Cool. It doesn't get any better than that.
So let me ask all three of you guys this and just blurt it out or whatever y'all want to do with it. And then afterwards, Mosh, take us to break. Quick answer. Like, is he the best living ambassador for the Raiders?
Yes.
I think so. I mean, so.
And it's not a shot at Bolitnikoff or anybody else, but I think as far as vocal and presence and I think it's Charles Woodson. Yeah. I can't think of anybody that since Willie Brown passed away, anybody that's a better representation. Because you don't see Otto, you don't see but Charles is out there, man, front and center. Yeah. Like I'll just say this as a Raider fan, we're all proud to have him be the guy. Yeah. If he's the face of the nation, we'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is Raiders Fan Radio. I'm Brent Musburger, and I don't care who wins as long as it's the Raiders.
This is Trent Sig, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio with Murph, Swag Jeff, and Uncle Mosh. Just win, baby.
Looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He's thrown. It is. He caught it.
All right, appreciate all of you joining us here tonight for episode number 212 of Raiders Fan Radio. It's now time for us to jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag. That is where we get a chance to hear from you, Raider Nation, and you can do that in two different ways. You can send us an email at show, that's SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com, and you can send us that email, and if we read your email an indefinite amount of times, then we refer to you as a made man or a made woman, or you can call the show at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave us a message, and we'll play it 3 times, and you can become then a made man or a made woman. And thank you so very, very much to everybody that's joined us here in the chat tonight. So, Jeff, shout out everybody that's in the chat, and then throw it over to Uncle Mosh, and let's do some emails.
Yeah, we got Full Metal Mexican, Raider Critique, Tyrone Graves, Big Easy, Storm, Darth Vader Raider, Jack Kenna, Renegade. Let's see who else we got in there. Franklin 83, Foxy Scorpio.
Darth Vader Raider, Tyrone Graves.
Yeah, Ms. Molly, Aaron Crocker, Damage Inc., Raider Nation Scotland. Yeah, the whole crew.
The Big Easy's in there. I haven't seen him in the chat in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
Thank you, Big Easy.
Yep.
Well, because you don't ever see any Jeffs in there.
And and Jack Kenna, I think he found us from Graphic Raider.
Oh, right on, man.
So,
awesome.
Yeah, and this is his first time watching the show.
Oh,
welcome.
So
appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, Graphic has become a good buddy of ours. Joined him on his show not long ago.
Yeah.
And we've got some other stuff planned coming up. As soon as we can link up our schedules, we're going to have him here on Raiders Fan Radio. So appreciate Graph and appreciate you. What was the name again? Tell me one more time. Jack Kenna?
Jack Kenna.
Thank you, Jack, for checking out us here at Raiders Fan Radio. All right, Uncle Mosh, what do you got over there?
You got him, the big winner. Let's see. That needs to go up a little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
so as Mosh gets into the emails for our audio listeners.
Okay, so this right here is a picture that Big Bass Raider sent us, and he's holding up his Crosby, his Waller, and his picture that he won 3 weeks in a row. He won the Summer of Swagness.
Summer of Swag.
So here's his email. Greetings, Murph, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. I apologize for the delay in getting this to you, but here it is. 3 out of 4 Summer of Swag prizes. Working out of town so much lately, only to come home and have the whole family come down with the Rona.
Oh, no.
Everyone is good here, though, and I get to enjoy a 10-day paid vacation at home, quarantining on my lawnmower. Those are actually my weeds I'm standing in front of. I just want to say to the nation, sorry for hogging all the Summer of Swag prizes. But hey, it's swag. My original goal was to help out and get those donations up for the One Nation Foundation.
Yes.
Knowing how competitive the nation is, and you all showed out, I have been blessed in my life, and I just wanted to pass on some of those blessings. I never thought that I would actually win all 4 weeks, but the RFR crew stepped up and made sure that there was a little extra swag to go around. Awesome job, guys. Now, let's turn our eyes to football. I love how this team, including the new additions, are fired up and ready to go. For all the hate this coaching staff gets, they've done a fantastic job of filling holes with talent and creating competition at every position. If the defense improves even just a little, the league is going to be shaken in their cleats at the thought of this team with its high-powered offense. What is the 53-man roster going to look like come the regular season? Hey, I got no friggin' clue. But I can tell you this. I think this team is going to surprise even the most optimistic fans. They look hungrier than Andy Reid at the hometown buffet on prime rib night. So I look forward to the first preseason game this weekend and cheer on our young guys and hope they develop quickly. Next to our vets. Go Raiders! Big Bass Raider 2021 Summer of Swag Award winner and future made man.
Nice job, Big Bass Raider. I love that he called himself a future made man there at the end. So that's one email, and of course it's an indefinite amount of emails to become a made man around here. So
he could almost be a made man winning 3 weeks in a row.
That's what I was going to ask you. Because what do you think,
It was
Mosh?
4, right? 4 weeks in a row because we still owe him.
It off.
We still owe him one picture, don't we?
You mean this picture right here?
Yeah.
Well, so when we did the Summer of Swag, unfortunately we didn't have this thing in hand yet. Well, now we do, so I'm going to show it off to you. So this is what he won. Look at this. It's 11 by 14. Tom Flores, Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's got pictures of Tom as a player, 2 of them on the bottom there. Then, of course, one is him as the coach in the middle. And then there's the inscription, Tom Flores, 2021 Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Such a badass piece, man.
So cool.
Consider me all the jealous that we have to send this to Big Thank you.
Yeah, well, our guy, he's got, I think, a couple more of those. We may just have to buy one
and we'll have one here in the cave. But next time we do a Summer of Swag or giveaways and all that, Jeff, actually, thank you, Jeff, hooked us up with an incredible partnership with a guy who's becoming a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And is a dealer in merchandise, autographed, official JSA stuff.
Yeah, and like wants us to be a part of like some signings potentially, and have Raiders Fan Radio sponsor some signings for his people and stuff. He's our guy, but he's got lots of guys. He's working on some stuff that's gonna be freaking.
We're gonna bring some epic stuff to you, Raider Nation, to bid on and hopefully have some really cool prizes for you.
So we're gonna take care of the made men situation next week. Due up is Big Bass, Swede, Big Papa Pump Raider, and some dude in Tennessee. This is according to Q-Dog, and we'll go ahead and do that. Okay. We'll go ahead and do that next week. We'll put it on the roster, and we'll plan on getting that in there. All right. Good afternoon, RFR. First, I was robbed of the Gemini Man Award, but I do accept my award.
This is one of 2 guys.
This is one of 2 guys, and actually, this is late. This was due last week, and I wanted to make sure that we got it read this week.
Oh, I think that's my fault.
Right. It's okay. Yeah. I was robbed of the Gemini Man, but I do accept my award. I did win, and no swag. I will defend Mosh's chair. Stay out of it. I'm going to give you an attitude adjustment.
Nice.
Now, on to football. Training camp is here, and the boys look good. I'm very excited to see who starts on defense, and DC is balling out, ready to tell all you haters to suck it. Yannick and Max look like they are working to become the best pass rush duo in the league. Farrell just lost.
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't Farrell.
Farrell just lost his starting job, but I think coming off the bench will keep him fresh and hungry for quarterbacks. I'm so pumped for this season. Stay safe, RFR. Daniel Mangus, proud made man. 2020 Gemini Man Award winner, 2-time Sizzler Award winner. P.S. My birthday was last Friday, and I went to the A's game, and I was treating myself to a Domenico's Deli sandwich before the game.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Nicely done. Now, wait a minute. Now, what year did he win that? What does that say?
He said 2020, but...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute. Did he just declare himself? Is this like a mutiny thing going on over here? Okay.
No mutiny.
Okay.
Evening, guys. Hope you are all well. I know the award season has gone after the excellent Fannies a couple weeks ago, but there are a few that have surfaced this week that need to be recognized. First of all, the Grace, Honor, Appreciation, and Dignity Award goes to both Coach Flores and Charles Woodson.
Let's go.
I got a little teary for Coach during his speech, as it had taken so long for him to be recognized, and you could see the pride busting out of him. I virtually fell apart with Charles Woodson's awesome speech. What a player and what a man that guy is. If anybody out there is searching for a role model for the youth of today, Charles Woodson is your man.
Absolutely.
Throughout the whole speech, he was taking care of his mom. Old man Willie would approve. If you don't get emotional at all watching them both, then I don't know what to tell you. Secondly, a merit award to Mark Davis for securing and improving the finances of the organization, especially during the pandemic. This is in the face of prophets of doom that said we had no money and we were on the verge of collapse. Next, we come to the lack of awareness / bonehead award. This was a close run thing, but it goes to a man who demonstrated a total lack of any kind of awareness of his career to date. Congratulations to Arden Key. Make the most of it, fool, because this is the only thing you'll ever win. He was so happy to get away from those pesky Raiders, but decided to completely ignore his part in his own inefficiency. How many chances did he expect, and how many times did we say he almost got to the quarterback, and he only just missed that crucial tackle? The perfect example of the nearly man. He never learned from his mistakes. He reminds me of the guy who runs for the bus just as it's pulling away from the stop. The guy that just misses out on that last parking spot.
Yes.
And he's the guy in the queue for a lottery ticket behind the guy that wins. Well, fool, you almost made it in the NFL as well. But you won't with those idiots on the wrong side of the bridge.
Let's go.
There's a little time for autobiography. Should you ever achieve anything of note, to write one, Arden Key, title, I Almost Made It. Oh my gosh, it goes on, page 2.
Nice, good.
If you're happy to leave, then so be it. But keep your mouth shut! And don't gloat in a press conference just to appease those pesky little Niner fans. And above all, never disrespect the Raiders, because we'll pass all of you on your way down.
Let's go.
Yeah.
The last award is the Did I Really Say That Out Loud? And now I've made myself look a sap award?
Wait a minute, which could apply to pretty much 3/4 of us. I don't want to speak for Michelle, but I know those three knuckleheads can definitely win that.
This award is sponsored by Colin Cowturd. The lucky winner is Sean Merriman.
Oh, this effing guy, man.
For his attempt on Twitter to belittle the Allegiant Stadium and the Raiders. For those that haven't seen the video, it shows about 300 people in the SoFi Stadium and the comments, finally a real stadium, and all you got is a nightclub Raiders. Well, I said to him in reply, it's only that full because Phillip Rivers' kids turned up and you wouldn't know real support and a full stadium if it kicked you in your ass.
Amen.
You share it, you don't own it, clown. In conclusion, it's been a good week, Raider Nation. Training camp is going well. We can all have the pride in our Hall of Fame inductees, and the first preseason game against the Sea Dorks is only days away. Let's just start the push now for Cliff Branch into the Hall for next year.
Yep.
Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time plus one winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Let's go, Paul.
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 Paul. Paul.
Shit, Paul. Paul, your name Paul?
Hello. Paul. Hello. Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul. Yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
I'd like to dedicate this next soundbite to Arden Key.
You dumbass.
Take these two over to the garage, will you? I want them cleaned up before dinner.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Sad sock.
This is not going to go the way you think.
Sad sock.
It's really not fair. It's my team. It's my quarterback.
Sad sock.
I'll be lying if I say that it didn't bother me.
Sad sock.
Sometimes emotions is what makes a person.
Sad sock.
Promise Ness I wouldn't do this. But as I said, there comes a time when
sad sack.
I'm not a sad sack, am I?
Sad sack.
You complete me.
Sad sack. Sad sack.
Oh, congratulations, Arden Key. You're the
My
sad second of
gosh.
the week, you freaking knucklehead.
I know, right? Well, you saw that. Have you seen that he's not the only one that's like a former Raider that's bashing the team?
Yeah, but there's like three former defensive linemen for the Raiders that are now Niners, and they're all going to suck.
Well, yeah, but did you see Joyner's doing that? Really? Joyner's on the Jets, and and we paid him a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
and
well, he's familiar with going 2-14. Enjoy that.
Yeah. He was like, I'm glad I'm back to playing true safety as opposed to nickel. Blah blah blah. Like,
whatever, dude.
Get
over
here,
yourself.
Man. Come on, bro.
Yeah. All right. Let's get the capo. All right, so here we are on the Sea of Fans mailbag. Sorry, I got derailed there.
Here at the top of the show.
Here at the top of the show, we get to the Sea of Fans mailbag where we hear from the best of Raider Nation, from the listeners of the Raiders Fan Radio audience, and you can reach us by dialing 909-345-3346, and you can become a made man or a made woman if we play your message 3 times on the air, and the leader of that crew is what we call our capo. He is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider and always kicks off the segment.
Greetings down there, particularly Moss. On the boss, Sonny. Try to stay cool up there in Oregon during that heat wave.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. Hold on here.
Arguably the worst defensive pass.
I was talking over that. My bad.
In the last 3 years. I mean, the thing that's most whack about Key's comments is the fact that he is blissfully ignorant about the gravity of this situation. He is a former day 2 pick on his second team in the last 4 seasons. And, this comes all after being cut. Most guys in his situation would be hard-pressed, or let alone given a third chance. Also, he went on to be able to, possibly make the defensive line for the 49ers. That line is stacked. When all this is said and done.
Speaking of Arden Key, so he's talking about Arden Key over there playing for the Niners.
Maybe Key is right about the Raiders, holding him back from greatness. However, he sounds more like someone who refuses to acknowledge his own shortcomings. He better check himself before he wrecks himself, or he'll be out of the league by September, just like his mentor, Bruce Irvin. Moving on, there were those who thought the Las Vegas Raiders pulled off the steal in the 2021 NFL Draft when TCU's star safety Trayvon Merrick slipped to us in the second round due to reports of injury. Although Merrick was considered perhaps the best safety in the draft and a surefire number 1 pick, the 6'2", 202-pound Merrick, fell to us. And so far through OTA's mini camp and the first few weeks of the training camp up in Henderson, Merrick is everything that we thought he might be. In fact, Merrick, I think, is going to show up, and when he does, he's going to start some games according to Group. Now, last season in 2020 at TCU, he was the Jim Thorpe Award winner, which goes to the best defensive back in college football. Right now, it's still in, in shorts and not pads, but, I'm pretty confident with what he's going to bring to the table. He has exceeded expectations and definitely passed the eye test. Now, Merrick has thrived all over the field, yet he projects as a free safety in the new defensive scheme under Gus Bradley. That's cool. And people outside of the Raiders organization have their eyes on Merrick as well. DraftKings has Merrick priced at 25-1 to be named the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, and several sports writers covering training camp have mentioned that his speed and playmaking skills have been impressive throughout drills. Now, despite the presence of Dalen Levitt or Carl Joseph,
that's your buddy, Swaggo.
He ain't my damn buddy. Safety is basically Merrick's to lose, and he seems up to the challenge thus far. Now, that would put him alongside disappointing third-year strong safety Jonathan Abram, in the Raiders' regular, season opener against the Baltimore Ravens on the 13th September on Monday Night Football. But you know what? I really feel like, he's going to set the tone as a youth. Now, Merrick said on his approach to, what he brings as a 7-time All-American, as a collegiate, coming in here every day, being here on time, early, doing the little things, right every day. It's just, being the best player I can be, whatever role the coaches want to put me in. And when the time comes and my name is called, just go out there and do what I've been practicing. I loved it here so far, and the nation's above them too. Now, finally, the offseason has revealed, beefs between star players and their respective NFL teams. Deshaun Watson versus the Texans, Aaron Rodgers versus Green Bay, and now Michael Thomas versus the Saints. Now, we need to keep an eye on this.
Yeah.
The last beef could be, very interesting and hit home. Now, we all know how the AB thing went with Chucky and how things ended, basically with cold feet. But listen, for all the politicking, not tampering, DC4 is made to reunite with Devontae Allen next season. I think it may be far more likely that Thomas is made available sooner than later. So let's just keep an eye on it.
I agree.
The quickly worsening relationship between Thomas and the Saints brass can lead the 28-year-old two-time All-Pro on the open market, and Vegas is now a destination team thanks to our current managing general partner. Silver linings. The football world was better for having college coaching legend Bobby Bowden in it.
Absolutely.
His death at 91 leaves the world a little sadder, but the NFL much richer for the athletes he produced over his storied career. The hit list. Devin Funches, Kirk Cousins, Lamar Jackson, Arden Key, Jim Rome, Mike Wilbon, Insurrectionists, and as per usual, Mike Ditka. Respect goes out to Sugar Shane and the Raider Terrell in Abilene, Texas. Graphic Raider, Kevin the Raider Nerd, B-Dog in the Pasture, Raider-born Rico, Watts Raider, Kill Jadis, Bobby Wasabi, Raider Homer, His Lordship, Paul from Shropshire, Mississippi, Lady Haley, Michelle Sweat, Monster Mash Ken, Coach Davis, Samoan Raider, Big Easy Raider, Tyrone Graves, Rev Raider, Sanjeev Raider, Oso Raider, Fabricator Gill, Wild Raider, Raideress, and Yoga Pants everywhere. Salute.
I love it, man.
He sounded like he was a little under the weather, like he's got Capo did. Like
I don't know.
Capo, you okay, buddy?
I don't know, and I botched the first part of his call, so that's my fault there. I apologize for that, Aaron. So a couple things there. So first off, much condolences to the family of to the Bowden family, and rest in peace, Bobby Bowden. And as he mentioned, so many great players that came to the NFL from Florida State, including Sebastian Janikowski, number 11, our all-time points scoring leader for the Raiders. Absolutely. So much respect there to the Bowden family. And also, so interesting about Michael Thomas, that would be an amazing fit for the Raiders. The downside of that is that he's kind of off injured here lately, and the Saints would have to absorb. I heard it this morning on NFL Network, and I'm probably messing up the numbers, but I think it was like $30-some-odd million in dead cap. They have to absorb. So regardless of whether he's on the team or not, and he virtually has an impossible contract for them to trade away this season. So next season, we'll see if the Packers, Packers, you know what I said? If the Packers put the franchise tag on Devontae Adams, then maybe we look at Michael Thomas instead. But anyways, so interesting there, though. Great stuff from Capo. As always, again, I apologize for screwing up the first part of your call, but always love to hear from our Capo each and every week. All right, next up, we're going to get to a good friend of the show down there in Texas. So many great Raider fans in Texas. And let's hear from our buddy, Houston Raiders Steve.
Hey, Murph, Mosh, Swag Jeff, Houston Raiders Steve, Nation. Hey, I'm up here in the Cleveland area. Went over to the Tom Flores they had the gold jacket ceremony last night and everything. I wasn't able to attend, but I saw the pictures on Facebook. But went over to BJ's brew house over there. We had an event for Coach Flores.
Of course he did, because Steve is the guy that drank 250 beers twice.
Right.
Rhinestone Raider put it together. She said that's probably the biggest night. And I saw Raider greats Jack Squirick was there. Spent some time with him briefly, exchanging pleasantries. Van McElroy, had a picture with him and everything, with the Super Bowl ring from the
oh, I thought he meant picture of beer.
Which won the last Super Bowl against the Redskins. Mike Ciani, Villanova. He played there from 72 to 77.
Yeah, he did.
And he was just a great player, a great person to talk to. And we also saw Lawrence, Henry Lawrence was there. Henry Lawrence was really cool. Anyway, we all turned out. There must have been about 200 people out there. Coach, they wheeled him in, and he went right past me because he was dining with his family, his grandchildren back in the back room. His face lit up when the players went in there from his teams and everything, and it was really great. And rumor has it they were supposed to get what's his name? Haynes. Michael Haynes was supposed to be there. Anyway, it's great seeing Coach, man. Love to see him get his jacket last night on TV, on Facebook. Go Raiders! We're back, baby!
All right,
Nice.
Good stuff there from our buddy Houston Raider Steve. Appreciate you. And I love that firsthand account of what was going on there with, of course, getting a chance to see Coach Flores and celebrate this incredible achievement of being in the Hall of Fame. In the chat room, lots of new names in there tonight. Love it. Thank you so much, all of you that are joining us in there. One of the new names is Gustavo. Gustavo says, I don't want none of those dudes. We got Edwards and Ruggs, and that's all we need. And you know what's interesting? You know what? He's not wrong. And you know what was very interesting is that with all of the different veterans that the Raiders have signed this offseason, they released their first depth chart from training camp. Ruggs and Edwards are your wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2.
Yep.
Like incredible for a couple of second-year guys. So look forward to seeing them and appreciate you, Gustavo. And that's an excellent comment in there.
Yep.
All right, next up, let's go down to Florida via New York and hear from our buddy iPad. Here, let me tell you that we got some amazing voicemails this week, and this is going to be a snowball rolling downhill. These get so freaking good this week, and kick it off with our buddy iPatch. Well, first with Steve, and now with our buddy iPatch.
Hey, Murph, Mosh, Swaggy J, my main man Q-Dog, and all the made men and women out there. Greetings and salutations, Raider Nation. It's iPatch calling in, and it's been a while since I called. I used to listen to you on Thursdays, guys, when I'd be driving around at work, but I've been out getting knee replacement surgery a couple months ago, so I slacked off a little bit. But anyway, I'm calling in because this weekend I settled in, on Sunday to watch the Hall of Fame speeches from Flores and Woodson, and I immediately got pissed off. I mean, I'm not lying to you. First of all, it started with this clown Drew Pearson, this son of a bitch. This pouting, whining, video-making crybaby from last year, putting it out there that he should be in the Hall of Fame. Crying on a video in front of the nation and everybody to see. It just made me sick the way he was up there talking. How he's had to wait to get in. You know what? Shut the hell up. You know who's had to wait? Cliff Branch had to wait. And his family's still waiting, you piece of shit. This changed the way the game was played, dude, and how the passing game evolved. I mean, this dude in 1 year, he had 1,000 yards and only 47 catches. Defenses had to change because of him. He has 3 Super Bowl rings, and he's still waiting. And to watch Carmichael and you, Drew Pearson, get in before him makes me sick. You shouldn't have gotten a golden jacket, man. You should have gotten a golden shower. Nothing but a big sissy and your hut. How about shut the hell up? How about shut the hell up, Pearson? I couldn't stand watching you up there. It made me sick. And second of all, this dude Fonseca. I guess he gets in because he's a Steeler. Hey, Hall of Fame. You want to put a lineman in there? Here's one for you, Dave Dalby. For all you young whippersnappers out there or Raider fans, let me tell you about Dave Dalby.
That one killed
right?
the show.
This guy, I know you don't like math, Murph, but here's some numbers on this guy. He played for 14 years for the Raiders, from 72 to 85. He never missed a game in 14 years. When Otto retired in 74, he became the second center in team history. Otto played from 60 to 74, and Dalby took over for the next decade. He centered 3 Super Bowl teams. you know? And he never even gets a mention. I never even hear him mentioned for the Hall of Fame.
Right?
You know, I'm so tired of these great Raiders getting overlooked between Branch, Dalby, Filippiano, Tatum. All four of them belong in the Hall of Fame, and nothing's ever said about it. I don't understand. And lastly, last time I tuned in to you guys, there seemed to be a lot of wrestling impersonations. You know, with the Macho Man battle going on back and forth, a little of I don't know, what's his name? The big, heavy, blonde-headed dude. I forget his name, man. But anyway, I've been working on one for the last couple months, and this is a throwback. Google Voice. You know what, Google Voice? You and Drew Pearson can go to hell. Both of you. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, is the other guy I was talking about was Dusty Rhodes. You had a guy doing Dusty Rhodes. Well, I've been working on one now for about 4 months, and this is a
4
throwback.
months.
And maybe Uncle Mosh, you'll appreciate it a lot more because it goes way back. And here it goes. Are you ready for this? It took a while, so just get ready. This is George the Animal Steele.
Oh, come on.
Winning a match. Okay, I got another one. This is George the Animal Steele after losing a match. You get it? It's not. I'll repeat it now. Get ready. All right, guys. I'm getting old, man. I'll probably be chasing kids off my lawn in the next couple of days. Anyway, I want you guys to stay safe. Have a good night. God bless you all, Raider Nation. And let's hope for a good season this year. I'm trying to keep my expectations down. I'm trying to keep them down this year. But let's hope for a good season, guys. Take care.
Oh, my God.
Oh, let's go, iPads!
What did he go, about 10 minutes?
Oh, not enough. That was amazing. That's up there. That's a Foggy Glasses candidate. That's a Juggernaut Award candidate. That's
bookmark that one.
We're earmarking that one, man. That is amazing. He about killed Michelle.
Oh my gosh, that's probably one of the best voicemails I've heard in a long time.
That's so funny, man. It's so funny. So that's our good buddy Benjamin. Of course, he goes by Patch. Had a chance to meet him at the draft. Back in 2019, man. Good dude. And so appreciate you. Great to hear from you again. Hope the knee surgery recovery continues to go well. All right, so here we go, man. I'm telling you, these are amazing tonight. So many great calls. And let's hear from our Mater Raider, the guy that moderates the chat each and every week. Let's hear from our good buddy Ron.
Hey, guys. This is Ron. On the back of that Gruden conversation that you guys had last week, which I thought was really interesting, I wanted to throw maybe a little bit of a different thought on that. So I'm going to run some numbers by you. The first set is 1, 2, 2, 3, 6. The second set is 12, 11, 10, 10, and 7. Throw a Diet Coke on that, and that's Andy Reid's order through Wendy's. In terms of cost, 1, 2, 2, 3, 6. Those are the number of head coaches since the year 2000 of the teams with the highest winning percentage in the NFL. 12, 11, 10, 10, 7 are the teams with the lowest winning percentage since 2000. Guess which side of that list we're on.
Yeah.
So the Gruden segment had me thinking that you've mentioned several times, Murph, that Mark Davis is going to do what's best for the Raiders. And maybe as fans, we think about team and we hear people like Gruden and Mayock talk about rebuilding. And our thought goes to the team. And maybe our thought should go to the franchise itself. Maybe since Gruden has this 10-year leash, when he talks about the rebuild, he's talking about the franchise. And we assume he's talking about the team. And that would make a lot of sense because if you look at our draft picks that have been questioned, if you put those picks on a team like the Patriots, the Steelers, Green Bay, franchises that have consistently won, they get so much more leeway than we do when we make picks like that because they're feeding the system. They're continuing their draft picks and the growth of their team. We're not doing that, or we haven't done that. And maybe that's what we should be thinking about is, these guys are looking at big picture. We're concerned, and we rightfully so because we're fans, about, our myopic, hey, this team this year. But if you look at these changes and these actions through the lens of big picture, maybe they make a little bit more sense. Being wrong feels exactly like being right until you find out what the truth is. So none of us really know.
Let's go, Ron.
But I think of, a few weeks ago we talked about my favorite romance film was Tombstone. My favorite foreign film is a movie called Rounders. And if you remember that movie, Matt Damon goes to a guy by the name of Joey Knish for some help. He got himself in trouble. And Joey Knish refuses to help him, and he says, you got to stop chasing big wins. And Matt Damon gets mad at him and yells at him, and it ends up with he kind of cuts him off and he shuts him down, and he says, listen, punk, I feed my family this way. I grind, I get the little victories, and you're out there swinging for the fences for the glory. And right or wrong, maybe that's what's going on here. These guys are starting the grind that's going to feed this franchise. And we as fans are waiting and waiting for this big win. And that big win, this big hit, this big free agent, whatever, it may not come the way we think it will, but maybe through this process, we get what we want in the end. We get a team that consistently wins, is consistently in the playoffs, and it might not be the pathway that we wanted. This may be the pathway that gets us there. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that Gruden conversation really made me think about that. So thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Oh my gosh, Ron, I love this. That was amazing, man. An incredible,
that's awesome.
Voicemail there. And Mosh, I think he does a great job of further illustrating the point that you were trying to make last week, where I was critical of Gruden on the short term in terms of these 4 years. Ron is backing up that argument about no, let's build the dynasty. Let's not build the win at one time. Let's build the win at 5 times, right?
Right.
Yeah.
5 time plus one.
Ooh, excuse me. I don't know what that was. I'm like over here choking.
That was your impression of Andy Reid when you realized it was a Diet Coke.
So, man, okay. All right. So next up, let's get to. I would call him a good friend of the show, but he's good family. Let's check in with former co-founder and co-host of Raiders Fan Radio, and let's check in with cousin Sonny.
Case fucking Cooks. Who the fuck is Case fucking Cooks? Was he a quarterback of one of those little poor schools who faced the Ohio States in college? This is cousin, West Coast. I'm sitting in some swanky golf club right now, rocking a Raiders hat because I can. Swag and victory is a mindset. Case fucking Cooks, Red Rocket. I'm done. Good thing there's good high school football around my neighborhood. Love you, Raider Nation.
Our cousin Sad Sack. What is he talking about there, Swag Jeff?
He's talking about John Gruden's new weapon.
Yeah, man, and it's not Case Cooks.
It's Case Cookus.
Cookus.
Yeah, sign him.
The
he's
legendary.
Case
Cookus.
Yeah, he's 25 years old from Thousand Oaks, California. He signed he signed into the NFL last year. Where did he play? The Giants is where he played. And spent some off-season time with the Vikings and the Broncos and stuff like that. An older guy to come into the league, right off the bat. Played his ball at Northern Arizona. He threw 12,000 career yards, 105 touchdowns, and only 20.
He's a group of 5 guy.
He's a group of 5 guy, and only 21 interceptions. I don't really understand why they bring in a 4th quarterback.
He's a camp arm and prepared for us to trade Marcus Mariota, Jeff.
Well, that's
thoughts.
That's true too. Yeah, well, thoughts is no. Yeah, because he's. I've saw a lot of articles this week.
People are going to go after Marcus.
Yeah, because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Why not? Because Gruden said it was hard last year because Mariota was out so much last year.
Yeah.
He didn't suit up until like week 10, and they didn't get to work with him. Which is what everyone wanted to do with him last year was, hey, put him in goal line situations and stuff like that. Like use his strengths. And so it seems now during training camp and stuff, that's what they're trying to do with him.
With Marcus,
Marcus, they're calling different plays than what they would when Derek's in there, which is what they should do. But
they just didn't have a chance to do it with him last year. Yeah.
So and that's.
But if they introduce the Mariota package or whatever,
Yeah.
and he has some success early on in the season on a few scoring plays, you know the phone's going to be ringing.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
every
Yeah.
year in the NFL, a quarterback gets hurt. You know what I mean? Whether that,
Exactly.
like, we've already seen Dak Prescott kind of struggle. We've, Fitzpatrick might go out. You never know, man, what
Yeah.
can happen, and somebody's going to chase down
someone's
Marcus
gonna
Mariota.
scoop him up.
Yeah, so that's where
So I'm
Case Kukas comes in.
cherishing every day that I still have.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So that's why Case Kukas, Sonny. All right, here we go. We got one more to get to. Actually, we got two more to get to. One of them's not in the notes because it came in late. Let's hear from our buddy Daniel Mangus, and then we're going to get to Kill Jadis. I know we're running late, but it's top of the show, so we're good.
Raider Nation, this is Daniel Mangus, calling from the beautiful Bay Area, California. Fremont, California to be exact. Well, this past weekend, the Hall of Fame finally did the Raiders justice. And
somebody yelling back there? Yeah.
finally has his gold jacket.
Probably Matthew.
Just one more person that was part of those Super Bowl teams that needs to get his Hall of Fame jacket. It's number 21, Cliff Branch.
Let's go.
No, not Drew Pearson. Drew Pearson, you suck. Alright? Drew Pearson, you suck. Every single real Cliff Branch didn't complain. Said he would be honored again in the Hall of Fame. It didn't happen. Drew Pearson, you whine, you bitch, you moan.
Dang.
Nice.
Hey.
Put you in, and you're like, oh my goodness, it's such an honor. Thank you so much. Shut the hell up.
Second card to say that to Drew
You got
Pearson.
in because you're cowgirl. Because your buddy Jerry probably voted for you or swayed the vote. Cliff Branch didn't complain, not one time. And now he has to go in, and he can't give a speech. Like Flores, like Woodson, like Orchell, hell, like Al Davis. All these greats got to give their speeches, and Cliff can't do that. Hall of Fame, thank you for putting Tom Flores in the Hall of Fame. But for putting Drew Pearson in, and not Cliff Branch, I've got one message for you.
That, of course, is the potty mouth Mangus. Thank you, Daniel, for your voicemail. Appreciate that. And yes, I think we all are very appreciative of the Raiders' representation in the Hall of Fame this year. But there's always going to be those few oversights that we talked about. All right, let's get to one more, and then we'll get out of here. I'm just going to play it. Here's Kill Jadis.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. With the rest whistle blowing and fans will be going to chug down some beer. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So we're singing now?
Of course we are. I'm in a joint mood because it's the happiest season of all. With those good pregame greetings and all the tailgatings that friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all.
Okay, I get you. So I'm guessing then there'll be game days for hosting, fan bases for roasting, and Alice there is a single show.
Exactly, Kill Jason, with that. There'll be epic past stories and tales of the glories of football seasons long, long ago.
Well, then I would have to agree that it's the most wonderful time of the year.
There'll be much QB sucking and silver and blocking out aliens far near.
It's the most wonderful time.
It's the most wonderful time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Wait. Well, hold up. Isn't it preseason, though?
Oh, shut up. It's about as good as we can get right now. Don't be your usual negative Nancy self.
Well, then you don't be your usual overly optimistic Oswald self.
Well, too bad, because my prediction is,
oh, dear God, no.
24-0 with the Raiders win the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah.
You're an idiot. It's not possible. And did you add the preseason games, too? Let's just hope for a wild card berth.
There you go with your negative ways. Besides, who are we playing first? You'll see this? Who are we playing? Why are you getting so angry? It's those sucky, sufferable second-class seasonals, the Seattle Seahawks. I hate them. I hate them so much. Wait, come back. We gotta end the phone call. Oh well.
Nice.
Thank you, Kill Jadis, for the phone call from you, and of course, Macho Raider Savage with the duet. There's a whole thing going on there, man.
Now, see, what I'm trying to tell you, what I've been trying to tell you forever is that there is one Mangus and there's two separate people, Kill Jadis and Macho Man Raider Savage.
Could be.
I know it.
There's a lot of conspiracy theory going on there, and a lot of speculation going on in the chat. All right, so here we are. We are running late, so let's go ahead and get on out of here. But thank you so very much, everybody that called tonight. So what we do is we take the best of the emailers and the best of the phone callers, and we award them a Sizzler Award. And Uncle Mosh is always the one that awards that. Should we, though, we've got an amazing guest in the studio tonight, Mosh. Should we allow for some, input there from Michelle Sweat, you think?
She can give her input all she likes. The decision is mine, but go ahead.
Okay, so Michelle, if you were to call the Sizzler tonight, you're
Let me recap him for you really quick, Michelle. Okay, so we started off with Capo. He's ineligible because he's the Capo. And then we heard from historian Steve. He talked about the event at the Hall of Fame afterwards, and it was wonderful. Eye patch. Oh my gosh, Drew Pearson. He said it cracked me up. He goes, I got new knees. Okay, well that didn't affect your ears, Eye Patch. Where the hell you been? But he did slay you when he said the man does not deserve a golden jacket. He deserves a golden shower. And then he said, "Shut the hell up, Google Voice, go to hell." And then he goes,
Love it.
"I gotta go because I gotta get ready to kick the kids off my lawn." I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's in the same group with me and Q Dog and Mojo, the getting ready to retire guys.
Yeah.
And then Ron did a fantastic job reiterating about Gruden saying how we possibly need to look at the bigger picture. Sonny, case effing Cooks. Kill Jadis, loved the song and the new ending. Oh well. Daniel Mangus came in from Fremont on his one message for the Hall of Fame. Beep yo.
Listen, the golden jacket, golden shower. If he don't get the damn Sizzler for that, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Agreed.
I am the
Congratulations, Eye Patch.
Sizzler.
Nice.
Well,
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
we sound like Eye Patch's imitation of George the Animal Steel.
Yeah. Okay, ready? Right on three. 1, 2, 3.
Kill Jadis says, catch you all later. Don't get mad, Kill Jadis.
Yeah,
that was epic, dude. When the two of you were singing together, I was dying.
That was incredible, man. Absolutely. Great job from everybody tonight. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all of you that are in the chat room tonight. Appreciate everybody, all the callers and emailers. Appreciate everybody that watches this afterwards, downloads us on the podcast services. You can find us at Raiders Fan Radio. Just search on any of your favorite podcast services, and you can find us there. And thank you to all the donations tonight. 100% of that money goes, of course, to the One Nation Foundation. Thank you to our amazing friend, Michelle Sweat. I forgot to shout this out earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle brought us these amazing cups. Look, they got Raider logos on them, and they are inscribed with our own names on them. So there's mine. There's the Murph one. Let's see. There's the Mosh one there. Look, there's Uncle Mosh's. And then, of course, there's Swag. These are so. Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tweet out and I'll put on my Facebook and Instagram. My friend Mackenzie made them, and she does just super cool shit. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks
for this
having
episode
me.
of Raiders Fan Radio. Before we get out of here for the night, message to Raider Nation, shout out the website or the Instagram, please.
Okay, Inclined to Improvise, Facebook, Instagram. Just thanks for the follows or whatever, but man, go fucking Raiders. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Swag Jeff.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for my bestie being here. Thank you so much to everyone in the chat. We raised $91 tonight for the One Nation Foundation.
No way. How about that?
So thanks, Aaron Crocker, Renegade, Chris Gang, Ron the Mater Raider, Franklin 83, Eye Patch, Big Easy, Mojo's in there, Franklin 83, Lino the Full Metal Mexican, Tyrone Graves, Paul from Shropshire. Thank you for being here, Paul. Aaron Crocker, Lee B, Damage Inc. Raider Nation Scotland. Thank you so much for everyone. You guys make this show what it is. The chat is incredible every single night. Uncle Mosh, take us home. Or Murph, you go. One of you guys go.
I got nothing. I just want to thank the three of you for being here tonight. This has been an amazing show. Been tons of fun. Thank you all so very, very much, and we will see you next week.
So special thanks out to all of our folks who are not here in the good old US of A. Thank you to Paul. Thank you to our folks in Scotland, our folks in Australia, and everybody that has joined us tonight, especially our guest, little Michelle Sweat over there. Thanks for listening tonight, everybody. You got your old Uncle Mosh here for Mirth and my little buddy Swaggo to my right. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. And don't ever forget, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Good night, everybody. Adios, malingerers.
Nice. hit the like
safe.
button.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like, smash
button.
the bell.
When this is over, stick around and leave a comment. Tell us how much you love us.
Raiders Fan Radio on TikTok.
Get your shots. Wear your masks.
Good night, YouTube.
Good night. Don't do it again.
Don't do it again.